Sister just had the baby. Sister just had my nephew, so I'm gonna go ahead and see her. But before I do that, I'm gonna be here talking to y'alls, and I want to know for anybody out there, why should I support Trump? Okay, I'm gonna make this go live here. All right, and I should be live on the others. All right, y'all. So once again, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for joining me. We are here live once again. Join me here, Volsy Thoughts, on TikTok and on YouTube, and I'm also on Twitch and Facebook. So I'm live on the YouTubes, on Twitch, and on Facebook. And of course, I'm asking a simple question: why do you think I should support Trump? Now, here's what I do, guys. If you answer in the comments or anything like that, I'm just gonna go ahead and add you onto the stage. I'm gonna request for you to come up so we can actually have the discussion. I don't like talking to comments because it's just gonna go back and forth. By the time I finish saying my statement, you're gonna say something else. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add you to come up and tell you, let's actually have the discussion. Because going back and forth in comments is just going to I think it kind of wastes our time, to tell you the truth, because it doesn't really go anywhere. Yes, trees have trunks. All right, Dissonance, go ahead and join me on the stage. That's the thing, y'all. I don't mind talking to people who are my political opposites. Like that's not an issue for me, right? As long as we remain respectful and we talk about what we are talking about with dignity and everything like that, it's all good. Well, it's fine. I don't mind talking to anybody who's my political opponent. All right, we're going to talk to Grayson. Grayson, how's it going? Are you at least 18, and are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I'll just dude, if you're, I don't know if you're a drinker or not, but the 4th of July is coming up. Mm-hmm. It's all right to start today if you want to. That's what I've been doing. It's just letting everybody know. Yeah, sure, it's Thursday, but you're good, dude. So you can drink today, tomorrow, and then on Saturday too, and even on Sunday if you want to. That's chill.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be well, I'm probably not gonna drink tomorrow because it's my sister's baby shower. I have to go ahead and be around for that, so I'm not gonna be drinking then. But yeah, on the 4th, I'll be with a few friends of mine. Sure. So
yeah,
I'll
bro.
be drinking then.
Have a good 4th, bro. Do your thing. I watch your stuff, man. So.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, I appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care, bro.
You too. All right, guys. So the link is pinned. I'm just going to go ahead and put the music back on so we can go ahead and wait for someone else to come up. Now, I did have someone in my TikTok comments who seemed to give me a reason why I should support Trump. So I invited them up, but they decided to not come up. Not sure why. But if you're watching over on the YouTubes, I'm going to go ahead and pin the link so you can go ahead and join in. Once again, the link to join is tiny.cc/VolseyLive. All right, sorry, y'all. I was just reading some comments. All right, so just reading through some comments here. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a second for some more folks to come in. Once again, if you think I should support Trump, then go ahead and come on up and we can discuss it. I appreciate any discussion anybody's willing to have. I'm not a Trump supporter, so I'm go ahead and asking people out there, why do you or why should I support Trump? You know what I mean? Give me a reason to support Trump. I know why a lot of people, a lot of y'all support Trump. You know what I mean? I don't think those are good reasons. Fixing the economy or whatever, he's failed at that. But for me, I think everything comes, a lot of people's Trump support, from what I've seen, comes down to, immigration and trans people. And that's really it. And it seems silly, in my opinion. Yeah, those reasons are not very good reasons, because number one, America's always going to have immigration. We can go ahead and discuss how that's going to happen and how to repair our border issues, right? But the way he's going about it right now is definitely a shitty way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the reason to support him for that way. And it's like it's not like immigrants are causing all the issues in our society anyway, and neither are trans people. So it seems he doesn't seem to be focusing on our actual issues, our actual material conditions. Yeah, I mean, like those reasons of immigrants and trans people, that doesn't address anything. Yeah, I mean, and anytime I've spoken to a Trump supporter for their support, it's always come down to that, and those seem to be very, very bad reasons. So if you have another reason, go ahead and let me know. Once again, guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. If we don't get any more guests, we're gonna go ahead and hit a reset so we can go ahead and try to get more guests in. Once again, if you'd like to join in on the conversation, if you'd like to give me a reason for why you think I should support Trump, go ahead and hit that link if you're over on YouTube, or hit that guest request button here on TikTok. What I may do in a second, like I always do, if we don't get more guests or more people to come in, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit a quick restart so we can go ahead and try this again. All right. So we're here, y'all. We're just here. We're here, and we're gonna go ahead and wait around for it, see who's here. And let me know. Let my mods know that I'm on. Hey, my God, is a black woman. I appreciate it. I appreciate the hand hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna go ahead and start sharing this, y'all. So, okay, we do have one person to come up.
Hello.
Hey, Bronx, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Are you at least 18, and
Yeah.
are you a Trump supporter?
Yep, I'm 33 and I support Trump.
All right, great. Why do you think I should support Trump?
Well, do you work in the private sector?
Yep.
There you go.
That doesn't give me a reason.
You just answered the question.
No, it doesn't.
Trump supports private sector growth, private sector wages, and less tax on high-income individuals.
Yeah. The thing is, those what those actually do, like, because everybody supports the private. What's in your background, bro?
I'm sorry. Oh, I have a music playing.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Can you turn that down, please?
My bad. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better. All right. Yeah. So the thing is, we're a capitalist country, so everybody supports private. You gotta turn that down, bro.
Damn it. This might be everything. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better. All right. And the thing is, two things. Number one, it's still loud, man. Like, what's going on in the background?
I just got music playing, man.
All right, it's distracting, man. You gotta turn it off.
All right, I turned it off.
Yeah, all right, great. All right, when it comes to private sector growth, right? Everybody support. Yeah. The guy's just trolling me. I think he was just trolling me, y'all. Yeah, he was doing it on purpose. Yeah, he was definitely doing it on purpose. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep it going. once again, y'all, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for being here. Keep tapping that screen. Keep tapping that screen. Let's try to go ahead and get some folks in. Again, if you would like me to give me a reason why I should support Trump, go ahead. And if you're on TikTok, hit that guest button. If you're over on the YouTube or Twitch or on Facebook, you can go ahead and hit that link that I pinned in. Hold on, y'all can hear me, right? Everybody can hear me, right? Because someone just said he can't hear me. All right, someone said, okay, everybody can hear me. Great. All right, great. So I don't know who that was. Probably someone just, I don't know, turn something on. I don't know.
Bro, I can't hear you. Nothing's going on in the chat. It's muted.
All right, Blood. How's it going, Blood? Are you at least 18 and are you a Trump supporter?
I can't hear you. What are you saying?
All right. So we're going to go ahead and keep it moving. We're going to go ahead and keep it going, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Go ahead and tap on that screen. And I'm going to go ahead and put my gift goal up real quick. Hey, Collapsism, I appreciate you becoming a member, Collapsism. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much, Collapsism, for becoming a member. You are amazing. Collapsism is one of my mods. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Collapsism. You're wonderful. All right. Appreciate you. All right. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to have a gift goal here. I'm going to go ahead and change that up. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second to go ahead and change that gift goal. Yeah, I know you can hear me. Those people are usually just like trolls. They'll come in, say, oh, I can't hear you, so you can stop the live and start all over again to like disrupt it and take you out the algorithm, stuff like that. All right, y'all. So we're here, got the gift goal up. Appreciate that. Whoever joined the fan club, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the fan club. All right, y'all. So let me see if I have any comments here that we can go ahead and take a look at and respond to. Oh, Deconstruction Junction is, well, the views is popping off, but no one's in the comments, so I'm guessing they can't give me a reason for why I should support Trump. But yeah, now with me, like I always say, anytime when I talk to Trump supporters, right? When I ask, when I go through with their support for him, like I said, it's always something that doesn't really address any of our conditions, our material conditions, because immigrants and trans people, they immigrants, they actually contribute to our economy, right? And obviously trans people do because they work, but it's like, what would suppressing their rights or their freedom of expression, what would it actually do for our wages? What would it actually do for our exploding costs of electricity and rent? Yeah, I mean, what would it do for our environment? It doesn't do anything, so it's like whenever they say that, whenever I go through their reasonings for supporting Trump, and it all really comes down to that, because first it was war, first it was like having peace and everything like that, and we see now that that Trump is basically a warmonger. Yeah, I mean, so that's out the window. Then it was shit about the economy, but the price of everything is up. Gas is up, groceries is up, everything is up. Productivity is up, and wages are still stagnant. We still have a very rough job market in our economy. Yeah, I mean, there's really like everything that they supported for Trump before, the whole price of X thing. Price of X hasn't gone down. So it's like, what's the reason at this point? Yeah, I mean, it's all coming down to just immigrants and trans people. Yeah, Russia, Ukraine still fighting. Correct, they're still fighting. You know what I mean? So then he said that he'll solve that on day one, some shit like that. Now, of course, that's hyperbolic, right? I didn't actually believe he'll do it on day one. But when people say that they'll resolve this issue on, day one or whatever, they means that they could resolve it soon. Yeah, I mean, they can resolve it pretty quickly. That's usually what they mean, or they'll resolve it at least when they're in their first 100 days or in their first year of being in office. That's usually what they mean, right? They can resolve it very, very quickly. Of course, day one, they're not going to do it. But the fact that, you know, we're 2 years into Trump's second term, and we've had absolutely no movement on that happening. They're still fighting, you know, so no movement on that happening. We've gotten to a conflict. We gotten into two conflicts, as a matter of fact. One with Venezuela, trying to do regime change, but it's still the same regime. Yeah, I mean, and then we try to do regime change in Iran, and it's basically a broken window fallacy. He tore up one agreement only to get into another agreement, which is basically the same thing. What is the reason at this point? I just don't get it. Oh, someone requested but then dropped down. I'm not sure what that was. Yeah, someone requested and then immediately dropped. I'm not sure what that was. Yeah, now he's going to Cuba and Greenland. It seems silly to me. I don't see a reason. So if you think there is a good reason to support Trump, sure. I should support him. Sure, go ahead and come on up and let me know why. You know what I mean? Once again, wherever you're watching from, if you're watching from the Twitch, you're watching from the YouTubes, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all for being here. Keep tapping that screen. If you're over on TikTok, keep tapping that screen. Shout out to the mods over on my YouTube and my Vossy Thoughts channel. Shout out to the mods. What up, Caddy? How's it going, man? I'm just live right now. I'm just waiting for anybody to come on up. I think I may do a reset. Y'all, because for some reason, like, TikTok does this. It doesn't push you out within like the first couple of minutes. Then it just doesn't push you out. All right, y'all. So this is what I'm gonna do. Right? I'm gonna do a quick reset. Y'all gonna see the screen. Y'all gonna see the screen go blank for a little bit. Well, it's not gonna go blank, but y'all gonna see the screen go back to my profile. Power in a job you aren't qualified for. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the only reason people are supporting Trump, you know, to glaze them in order to get power in a job they don't qualify for. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a minute. All right, I'm gonna take a beat. I'm gonna end the live, and then you're gonna see it restart. Okay, so live is gonna end, and then you'll see it restart. Okay, so give me a minute. I'm gonna be right back. We're gonna hit a quick reset. All right, guys. All right, we are back. All right, y'all. So we are back. We are back at it. Yeah, go ahead and tap that screen. Tap that screen. I had to do a quick reset to see if we go ahead and get a guest again. What up, SOA? Yeah, I shouldn't, huh? I agree with you. So I hit a quick reset just to see if it'll get pushed out into the FYP, so we can go ahead and get back on it. I went ahead and hit a quick reset so we can go ahead and get back onto the FYP. Y'all go ahead and tap that screen. Tap that screen. Tap that screen. We're just waiting for anybody to come in for us to have a discussion. I want to thank you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and block this person who's calling me Diddy. All right, user, go ahead and come on up and tell me why you think that Trump is the best president ever. Jared, over on the YouTube chat, go ahead and come on up and let me know why you think I should support Trump over Democrats, because you think Democrats are stupid or whatever. That doesn't really give me much of a reason for why I should support them. Yeah, someone actually did call me Diddy over in the in the other chat. How's it going, Dougal? How's it going? I appreciate you being here, man. Y'all go ahead and tap that screen. Like I said, tap that screen. I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. Love you all. Thank y'all so much. We'll see how much how much callers that we get. I think I should open up the call line again. I think I should open up the call line. Let me see if I open up the call line, exactly what would happen, because I remember I did have the call line, but it was difficult to have that there, call people back, stuff like that. And not only that, my guests couldn't hear them, or they couldn't hear the guests. I mean, so it was pretty difficult to have the call line. But I think I'm gonna open up the call line back up just to see if I get some folks in. But once again, I do appreciate y'all. All right, Taylor, go ahead and join in. Hey, Taylor, go ahead and join in on the live. Come in and talk to me about that, about corruption and everything like that, because I don't know, man. Trump seems pretty corrupt to me. You're tired of corruption. Well, I support Trump then, because he hasn't divested from his businesses. He's made over $1 billion this year alone. So if you're tired of corruption, yeah, and that's all just for himself. Yeah, all the cryptocurrencies. And then the slush fund, like, it's, I don't know, he enforced them to drop in investigations. He fired independent inspectors and investigators. It's a lot, man. If we're gonna be talking about like corruption, and you don't like corruption, like, lots of examples from Trump. Bro, what do you think of Al Saeed? I don't know who who's Al Said? Let me know who that is. Is that a leader of another country? Yeah, y'all. So like, if we're gonna go ahead and talk about like corruption and stuff like that, right? Like, there's lots of examples within the Trump administration about corruption. Oh yeah, the appeal in this grape case was denied. That was kind of funny. All right, let's see if this person is one of the. All right, we have Trump is king. Trump is king. We are Charlie Kirk. Okay. Yeah, y'all. So when it comes to that, right? Like, it's we are Trump. Yeah, it's like there's tons of examples within the Trump administration itself on corruption. Yeah, I mean, especially first of all, the cryptocurrency grift, firing watchdogs, the fact that he profits from presidential assets, quid pro quo. It's I can't rattle them off in my head right now because it's hard to do. But like, there's lots of. Oh yeah, he's gotten real estate deals too. There's lots of examples. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't see the I don't see we don't like corruption, therefore Trump as a reason to support. I mean, the guy has tons of corruption. All right, I have someone. Yeah, Taylor. There's a link that you can join. There's a link that you can join. Let me see if I turn on my phone number, what will happen. All right, y'all. So I got the phone number up. All right, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna go ahead and try the phone number. Give me 1 second. Let's see who's willing to call in. Because every time, I'll be dropping the link, man, and for some reason, folks don't be wanting to hit the link to come in. But if I go ahead and put the phone number up, let's see if folks are willing to call in. Then yeah, go ahead and tap that screen. Yeah, go ahead and tap that screen. Why y'all mentioning CNN? I never said anything about CNN. Like, yeah, y'all be so weird with this shit, bro. I never said anything about CNN. What are you talking about? Yeah, Caddy, they be obsessed with cable news rap battles, bro. Like, I've always said, Fox News and CNN is basically a 24-hour rap battle. It's basically what it is.
Call from?
Yeah, my name's Taylor. I was trying to get up.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
All right, Taylor, how's it going? Are you at least 18 and you support Trump?
I'm like 58 or 54 actually.
54?
My Gmail says I'm 58, but yeah, I'm 54.
Not a problem. Cool. Why should I support Trump?
And I mentioned CNN because somebody told me Trump's corrupt because CNN said so. I thought that was funny.
Trump is not corrupt just because CNN said so. Like he literally had.
Yeah, but somebody said that on your feed. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, they're stupid. Yeah, because Trump is not corrupt just because CNN said so. Trump is corrupt because he had cryptocurrency deals. He's enriched himself in his position. Every single president has divested from their businesses and not enriched themselves from being president. Trump has done so. If this was Obama or somebody like that, people would have called that out immediately, but no one has when it comes to Trump, which is kind of silly. Every single president has divested from their businesses. Trump hasn't. He's gained $1 billion just by being president. You think that people should be profiting off of being president? If we do that, we're going to have a lot of problems, aren't we?
Has he personally gained from the government, or has his company gained?
He's personally gained from being president. Like it was his gain.
Children are running the company.
Hold on, listen. I'm talking about his personal gains himself.
Okay.
Right. So he's profited off of being president, which no other president has done.
Hold on, I was drinking, but yeah. Oh,
they profit after being. They profit after Hillary Clinton was never president. They profit after being president.
She wasn't a president, but
Hillary Clinton was never president.
I'm saying all these people are doing
hold on,
regulatory things.
Hold on, this is what I'm saying to you. The people profit after being president. Yes, I do agree with that, right? Obama became rich after being president. Biden became rich after being president. They all became rich after being president. True. I'm talking about in their presidential seat, they never gained profit from it because you're supposed to divest from that, and Trump hasn't.
He still owns a business, though.
Right, he's not supposed to.
He's gonna,
as president,
he's gonna make a lot of money.
Of course, you're supposed to give that up as president. Every president divests from their business. Jimmy Carter had a peanut farm, and he divested from that. But Trump can't divest from his businesses. You have to divest, and they haven't, because the reason why that rule is in place is order for a person to not profit from their presidency, to give themselves government contracts and everything like that, give themselves tax breaks and everything like that. Of course, that's a good thing to do, right? Because we don't want a person to try to get to that seat to only enrich themselves. But
okay, I don't want to argue too much.
Okay, cool.
But I want to point also, Hillary Clinton, how she made all her millions. She put up so much regulatory stuff, and they put up regulations, and they run things, and the government should be very minimal, very super minimal. No very small regulations.
Why
where people can profit off of them. The more regulations you have, the higher your price is going to be on building a house. The higher your prices are going to be on shipping items over. The higher the prices can be everywhere.
All right, so
especially with the EPA.
I have two questions. Number one, Hillary wasn't president, so what regulations did she?
No. But she was Secretary of State.
Yeah, but what Secretary of State doesn't put up regulations?
You had just as much president power as the president did.
She's powerful, but she doesn't control regulations.
She doesn't have the final say.
Hold on. Listen, Taylor. Secretary of State is a powerful position, but they don't put up regulations. But the second thing that I was going to say, hold on. Which regulation did she put up exactly? Which ones?
I'm drinking at the moment, and I cannot tell you rightly, and I don't want to lie either.
Okay, cool. Let's just look it up.
But I would have to look it up, and I could send you a bunch, because I had them.
Which regulations did Hillary Clinton?
They were business regulations
as Secretary of State. Let's see.
I cannot name one right now.
As Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton did not make or issue statutory laws, as that belongs to Congress. Instead, she's focusing on executing U.S. foreign policy. So yeah, she did things in foreign policy, which I hella disagreed with, like interfering within
selling our uranium.
Libya. Hold on, I definitely disagreed with her.
Selling our uranium.
She doesn't have that power, but I definitely disagreed with.
Sell our uranium.
She doesn't have that power.
Yeah, she did. I was in the Army then.
Okay, I know. I don't know that you were in the Army, but I was in the Air Force, and no, she didn't sell uranium. She doesn't have that power.
Oh, really?
But yeah, she doesn't sell uranium. She doesn't have that power. But the second thing that I would say is that she doesn't make statutory laws or anything like that. All right, she doesn't make regulations. But
no, she didn't make.
Hold on. She does not control regulations. That's number one. But the second thing that that I would say is that we do need regulations on our economy. You said they should be very, very minimal, but as how minimal can you go? Because it's going to get to a certain point where these private businesses are going to be dumping like toxins into the river and catching rivers on fire. Like that's what used to happen when we had very, very low regulations. So you want to go back to that?
No. Okay. Like Flint, Michigan, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That should not have happened.
Yeah, that happened because of lack of regulation.
Yeah, that's a lack of regulation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lack of, oh my God, that's a lack of punishment. There should be punishment.
Agreed.
Not regulations so much, because people can learn from that. But regulations cost money. And that's why a lot of corporations can't afford it. There has to be a punishment for doing the wrong thing. There has to be a middle ground somewhere.
No, of course, that's
You know
punishment for doing the wrong thing. We need. I think we need stronger regulations. I think people need to be jailed instead of getting fined. That's what I think needs to happen. I think if your product,
yeah, if there was a punishment for it instead of a fine. I mean, not a fine, but you have to pay yearly for a lot of these things. I worked at a plastics company here in Springfield for years, and they had to pay out the butt just to get the plastics in, and the EPA standards that we had to. Oh my God, I was a maintenance guy for them, and the cost was just ungodly. I mean, it's just unreal.
yeah, sure, I get that. But
There
what
should
I'm
be
saying is,
punishments for doing the wrong thing, like dumping our plastic somewhere. If we ever did that, we didn't.
yeah,
Or our used oil or anything like that, wastewater.
yeah. All right,
That should be a
gotcha.
punishment.
Right, gotcha. People should
That's
go
where you
to.
get your money.
I understand. Yeah, I think regulations or breaking regulations should be punishable by jail. They should go to jail.
Yeah.
Great. All right, cool. So
At
the
least
thing is,
that's fine.
but the thing is though, Trump has deregulated. So like, and that's gonna cause more problems for us, wasn't it?
There's no way you can, unless you can give me proof that Trump did something wrong. I'm not going to say Trump's the bad guy.
You don't have to think that Trump is you don't have to
no.
think that Trump is a bad guy, but if you think that regulation should be there to protect, the environment, protect people and consumers, and then Trump deregulates these type of things, you don't see how that's an issue?
I grew up in Washington State. I used to be a very environmental guy. And then I moved to the Midwest after Democrats kind of destroyed the West Coast, the entire West Coast.
I mean, the West Coast.
You couldn't pay me to go back to the West Coast.
How did Democrats destroy the West Coast? What happened in the West Coast?
You can buy meth on an ice cream truck and shoot up in front of a police station or a restaurant. Then West Coast gone, according to me.
That happens here in Florida.
That happens in Portland many times, all throughout California.
Taylor, did you hear what I said? You can buy meth, weed, and all that here in Florida.
You can find it here too, but I'm saying you can't shoot up in front of a restaurant in the streets and poop in the streets either. And around here, you'll get shot before the cops show up. Cops will show up usually just in time to save you from the people who are going to kick your ass.
So wait, hold on. So Taylor, are you telling me that Democrats in California put in a law that people can poop on the street?
Yeah, in California, yeah.
What's the name of that law?
About poop.
What's the name of that bill that they passed that says that people can shit on the street?
Bill. They just do it.
Okay.
People break the law all the time. That's what they do.
So if people are simply going out there and breaking the law and pooping on the street, how is it the fault of Democrats?
They allow it to happen. It wouldn't happen around here.
What
and around here, it's nothing but conservative.
When you say they allow it to
happen. Around here, if you break the law...
Taylor, when you say... Taylor, you need to slow down. When you say they allow it to happen, what do you mean by that?
It happens. That's how they allow it to happen.
Yes, it happens. I understand that it happens. It happens over here in Florida too. You ever heard of Florida Man?
I'm in the Midwest.
Taylor, listen. You need to slow down and listen to what I'm saying to you. That happens here in Florida too. You ever heard of Florida Man? Weird shit happens all the time. Are you saying all the weird shit that happens here in Florida is because Republicans allowed it to happen? That makes no sense.
No. People like to break the law, but there should be punishment for breaking the law.
Right, and if people are defecating on the street,
not apparently.
Hold on,
They're more obsessed
Taylor,
with punishing the good guys than the bad guy.
Taylor, come on, man, you gotta stop reacting and slow down. We're in the middle of talking, all right? Don't just move past what I'm saying and interrupt. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Are there people in California who go to jail for breaking the law? California State Prison is a thing, right?
My aunt still lives there.
Okay, listen to my question. California State prisons, they still exist, right?
Kind of full though, aren't they?
Yeah. There's a lot of people in California State prisons. That kind of contradicts what you're saying. You're saying that people just get away with crimes over there, but the California State prisons are full. So obviously people are being arrested. So obviously people are being arrested, right?
You can watch it on YouTube. How can you deny it if you're being filmed and you can watch it?
Taylor, I don't think you understood my question. Your claim was that people are just committing crimes in California willy-nilly and nothing is happening to them. However, that contradicts the fact that California State prisons are full. If California State prisons are full, that means that people are being arrested for crimes, aren't they?
You're still being arrested here and there, but they still get away with it. They still get out. After a couple of days, you don't get reforms. There should be reformation.
Right. A lot of people get away with crimes. That happens all over the country. But you cannot claim that you can commit a crime in California and it happens willy-nilly in front of a police station. People get away with it when people are still getting arrested and the prisons are full. It's kind of crazy.
I only say it because it was videoed.
Okay, so the issues in California are fourfold, right? There are a lot of issues in California. The policy decisions that they make are half-assed. I'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? There's issue with housing in California because there's issue with housing in California because California did not build as much as they could have, which is why you have the expenses all going up, and that has to do a lot with the racism in of itself. But that's all different things, right? Give me 1 second, guest on my TikTok. Give me 1 second. So when it comes, the reason one of the big issues of why California has a lack of housing is due to racism. But the issue that I'm trying to get to is that yes, California has a problem.
What do you mean racism, bud?
Hold on, hey, Splinter, over on my TikTok. Give me 1 second. I'm on the phone. Give me one moment.
No problem.
So I'm talking to you now, Taylor. Yeah, so California does have a lot of these issues, and then we have to work to resolve them. But to say that Democrats and then that's why the problems exist is kind of silly. Issues are more complicated than that. Because when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California, these issues still existed. So it's not the party. It's what the policies that pass. It's a lot more complicated than who's in power, right?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with everything. Mondami in New York, and that breaks my heart.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. All right. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all go ahead and keep tapping that screen. We're gonna talk to Splinter over here on the TikTok. We'll see how long I stay on. Probably maybe another hour and a half, and I can go ahead and get out of here. All right. So Splinter, how's it going? Are you at least 18? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I'm 40, dude.
Why should I support Trump?
Well, did you see the Secure America Act was signed on June 10th?
No. What about it?
So the $70 billion that's being allocated to ICE and CBP and DHS so we can ramp up the deportations again.
Oh, that. Yeah. Fuck ICE. They're terrible.
What kind of argument is that, though, dude? What do you mean, fuck ICE? They're getting illegals out of this country.
Cool.
Bring an argument.
Illegals,
don't just say fuck ICE.
Yeah, fuck ICE. So when it comes to ICE and what they're doing, right? When it comes to the people who are actually within these ICE facilities and everything like that, are those illegal immigrants or those undocumented immigrants, are they violent criminals or just people who are just here illegally?
They're both.
No, not really. The majority of people
Yeah,
in those ICE and Border Patrol facilities have never committed a violent crime.
Yes, they have, dude.
Their quote unquote
the
crime
moment they stepped across the border.
That's
Hold
not
on,
a
bro. Give me a
violent crime.
second.
That's not a
The
violent
moment
crime.
they stepped across, yes,
I
and they have
said
criminal
violent
records.
crime.
Yes, and they have criminal records, dude. A lot of them are from Venezuela.
My guy, slow down. Crossing a border.
Slow down. I haven't even been able to say a word, dude.
Okay, because you're talking about something else. I said violent crime. Crossing a border is not a violent crime.
I don't care if it's a violent crime or it's a simple crime, dude. They came across the border illegally. What part of that don't you understand, you dingling?
So, who cares?
So what?
So what?
We're the most generous country on this planet. We let a million people in every year legally. So where's your argument? You can't just say so, bud.
You're not making an argument. You're just having an empty.
Yeah, I am, dude. Hold on. Here's the thing.
Hold on. I'm
what happens?
You're not making any argument. All you're doing is extending an empty platitude. They came over the border. So who cares?
Yeah, and they're unvetted. Most of them are criminals, dude.
No, they're not. Not most of them are not.
So
there's
yeah, they are, man.
No, there's no research to show that. There's no research to show that the majority
Where's the
of people,
research that you have that shows that they aren't criminals?
So there's no research to show that the majority of people who cross the border illegally are criminals. None at all.
They're criminals the moment they cross the border. Oh my God, bro.
Is a jaywalker a criminal?
Dead?
Is a jaywalker?
Are you that brain?
Is a jaywalker a criminal?
In our country?
Is a
jaywalker, he's in our country? Yeah.
Is a jaywalker a criminal?
Yeah, it's a criminal offense, dude. Especially if there's a parade going on or something.
I didn't say nothing about a parade. I said crossing the street at a.
Yeah, dude, it's a law. Do you not believe in laws?
I believe in laws. What I'm saying is that saying that a jaywalker is a criminal is kind of crazy.
No, it's a crime.
Jaywalking is not really a crime. It's more.
Yes, it is, bud.
It's more of a civil offense.
Yes, it is, because you can't you're not supposed to be like jaywalking across state roads, dude. When people are doing like 70 miles an hour, bro, it's a crime doing that.
Well, who said anything about state roads? You realize that
dude,
you can jaywalk.
What is it?
You realize you can jaywalk on the street, right? Like in a neighborhood.
No, you can't jaywalk in your neighborhood, bud.
Yeah, you can. Like
no, you can't.
When I go out to the main road, over that has a street light, I can jaywalk over there, right? On the main road.
So you walk out to your house and you go across to your neighbors. That's not jaywalking. I'm talking about across main roads, roads that you drive.
That's what I said. The main road.
Yeah, dude, it's a criminal offense. Do you not believe in laws?
No, it's a civil offense.
You need to go to the traffic light.
It's a civil offense, not a criminal offense. Jaywalking is a civil offense, not a criminal offense.
Okay, regardless, dude, they're walking
it's not
across
a crime.
Our borders.
Walking across the border is not a crime.
And that's a crime, dude.
Walking across the border is not a crime. It's a civil offense.
It is,
so it's not.
No, it's not a civil offense.
Yes,
that's
it
a crime.
is. It's a civil offense. It's not a crime.
Yes, it is. It's a crime, bud.
If they take you back and then you recross, then it becomes a crime.
Hey, if somebody comes in your house unannounced, is that a crime?
That's trespassing.
Okay, so that's what they're doing. They're trespassing in our country.
No, they're not. That's not trespassing. hey, Spencer, do me a favor. I haven't insulted you once. Can you calm down? Then you can do that. You think you can calm down?
Bro, you're a pathological liar, my guy.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and continue on because I have no time for people yelling and screaming and fussing. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep it moving. Who was up? Someone actually requested, but they went ahead and dropped. Someone actually requested and but they ended up dropping. So I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, y'all go ahead and keep tapping that screen. We'll go ahead and keep it going. So y'all can call in. Like the number is right up there, 786-530-5941. Go ahead and call in if you'd like to talk to me. Yeah, Nayois, you can I didn't get to you on time, so I didn't see you. But yeah, y'all, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep it moving, keep it pushing. All right, y'all. So like I said, I appreciate y'all for being here. We're going to go ahead and wait for another caller or another guest person. We're going to wait for another caller or another guest. We're going to wait for another caller, another guest. Of course, we have another person talking about Democrats burning crosses. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure why folks thinks I'm a Democrat for. Okay, Nava over in the chat. You can go ahead and call in. Number's right there, 786-530-5941. You can go ahead and call in and we can go ahead and have that chat. Seven eight six 530-5941. Go ahead and call in and we can go ahead and have a chat. We'll be here for just a bit. We'll be here for a bit and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. Want to thank y'all for being here. Now, I'm not going to be on all weekend because tomorrow my sister's baby shower, and then I'm just going to be staying the weekend down with the fam down in Miami, and just find something to do. All right, Okan, how's it going, Okan? Are you at least 18? And do you
yeah, I'm 18.
Trump?
What?
Do you think I should support Trump?
No.
Okay, sure. So what do you want to talk about?
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can go ahead and get some more folks up.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry.
Yeah, that song is mid as hell, bro. That shit sucks, bro. That Charlie Kirk song fucking sucks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That shit is mid. That shit is mid, bro. We are Shirley. That shit is mid. Yeah, I think they were trying to make another Lift Every Voice, but it was just super unseasoned. Yeah, they was trying to make another Lift Every Voice, but it was like hella unseasoned. Y'all can never make another one. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Y'all can never make something like that, man. They tried to make a Lift Every Voice and it just failed. All right, because that Charlie Kirk song is fucking mid. We're gonna go ahead and give it a second. We're gonna go ahead and wait to see if anybody else would like to come up or anyone who would like to call in. What up, Tiffany? How's it going? But y'all keep tapping that screen over on the TikTok. Oh yeah, and just so anybody was wondering, give me 1 second, y'all. Just so that anybody was wondering, yeah, jaywalking is a civil traffic violation. It's not a criminal offense. All right, that was my entire point. crossing the border illegally is basically like jaywalking. It's a civil offense. If they take you back and then you recross, then it becomes a criminal offense. All right, but jaywalking is a civil offense, just like how crossing the border illegally is a crossing the border is a civil offense, because people cross the border accidentally all the time. So that's why they don't make it a crime. All right, so it's a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense. Now, if you recross, then it becomes a criminal offense, which is what I told him before. But besides that, saying, "Oh, they crossed the border," I'm like, so, like, what does that do? I give less of a shit, bro. I really don't care. What does it actually do? I care that if they actually hurt somebody. Now, if they actually hurt somebody, then I have a problem with that. But crossing an imaginary line is not something I give a shit about. Like, who cares? Like, it's to me, it's an empty platitude. Like, it's just an empty platitude. Like, it's like saying he wore his hat backwards. So the fuck what? Like, and it's like saying he wore his hat backwards, and I don't like backwards hats. So, like, it's completely empty. It doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me what I should care about. I care about actual harm to human beings. I care about harm to material conditions. Someone crossing a border doesn't do that. All right. Now, if they're a violent criminal, yeah, you need to get them out. If they're a person who's a PDF file, go ahead and get them out. I mean, of course, I support that, but I support focusing on those who cross the border and commit crimes in America, harm Americans, stuff like that. That's what I care about. All right, if they're crossing the border and they join, like, gangs and shit like that, and are out there selling like meth to 12-year-olds, then yeah, get the person the fuck out. Like, no one's gonna fight you on that, right? No one's gonna fight you on that. But if it's just a dude crossing the border and he works as a day laborer and his wife sells oranges, why do I give a fuck? Like, so who cares? I mean, and the thing is, yeah, we're a nation of laws, right? But the reason why people cross or overstay visas is because, well, twofold reasons. American imperialism has infected a lot of these places, right? Which causes a lot of them to move to America to escape from the issues of imperialism. That's why a lot of people come to America, to escape those issues. But the second thing is that our immigration laws are full of red tape and full of stops. Our immigration laws are terrible. So we need to go ahead and just revamp these laws, right? Let's just revamp the laws. And like I said, if anybody wants to come in and talk to me, go ahead and call the number 786-530-5941. Yeah, that's another thing. Wait times get super crazy. The wait times get very, very crazy, right? It's all because of usually the red tape that's involved within immigration law. That's why there are people right now waiting to come in that applied maybe 15 years ago, right? Like, it's ridiculous, the red tape that exists within our immigration system. We just got to go ahead and reduce the red tape, fix that, right? There are ways to repair our immigration system and not having Gestapo with guns go into like children's schools. That's kind of crazy.
They fall into that worry that the jobs are going to be taken and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. The whole "they took our jobs" things. It's really silly, really stupid.
Yeah, they're not worried about AI taking their jobs to the extent that AI is doing that,
Exactly. All these people are getting laid off because of AI, not because of undocumented immigrants, y'all. People crossing the border is not causing you to get laid off. It's the AI data centers that's causing you to get laid off. People crossing the border is not causing your electricity to go up. It's the data centers that's causing your electricity to go up. People like crossing the border is not causing the rent to go up. It's greedy corporations that are basically taking off like empty apartments off the market in order to artificially raise the prices of everything else and raise the demand. That's what's causing your rent to go up. The lack of building houses is what's causing the rents and the mortgages to go up. You know what I mean? The supply chain issues is what's causing our grocery prices to go up, not people crossing the border. People crossing the border do not affect the supply chain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these issues are not the reason. Immigrants and trans people are not the ones causing your problems.
You see, they don't morality care enough, because what happens is through all the exploitation and all the Western capitalist expansionism, like they get the oil, they get what they need, they do the damage, and then they turn around and act like the superhero or act like they're the victims in the situation. But really, it's still imperial colonization, but just a new format and new way to do it. Like these people, they get displaced from their homes get bombed. They have militaries and tons of stuff being overthrown, and different groups being funded by the U.S. to overthrow governments that are working in a socialist format to help out those countries. Also, they can extract resources from these people, and then they're displaced, and then they migrate. And people cry, all the immigrants. Well, stop displacing them. Stop extracting the resources from them. Stop exploiting them, and they wouldn't have to migrate. You know, that's the whole the thing.
Oh man,
F the world, man. F the world.
It's a messed up world. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the screen real quickly, because someone in the chat asked me when did they go to schools. Wait, actually, that's the wrong one. Sorry, y'all. That was the wrong one. There we go. At graduation, ICE targets young dreamers. Now, they didn't go to the graduation itself, but they did wait around the corner, I think. 7. Yep, these young people are among those swept up in ICE's ever-expanding net. Didn't happen on school property. Instead, ICE arrested Marcelo on his way to volleyball practice. ICE took Jimena after local traffic stop, etc., etc.
Also bring up the new law that it's against the law to call somebody a fascist or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's against the law to call somebody a fascist?
Yeah, it's a new thing that just came out. It's on the .gov site. I forget what the law is. You can look it up, research it.
I didn't even know about that. That's my big sister. I'll call her back in a second. That's my sister. I'll call back in a second. But yeah, I'll look that up. Give me a second. Oh, here's a K through 12. Yeah, this was the one I was looking for. This was the one I was looking for. Let me see. It is this acts activity on K to 12 school grounds. So yeah, they actually did go ahead and arrest somebody at the school. You know what I mean? Now I think they pulled back. They may have pulled back, but yeah, they did arrest somebody at school. You know what I'm saying? So these things do happen. So give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. It's my sister. Hey, Milky, what's up? You okay? Hello?
Hey, bro. I'm sorry if I interrupt you.
Yeah, I was just doing something real quick. What's up?
I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to tell you first that was able to talk to the charge nurse.
All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, my sister called me real quick. It was something important. Sorry about that. But
I stand corrected. It was an anti-fascism law that he passed. You can't be anti-fascist or something like that. You got to look it up on the .gov.
Oh yeah, they made some sort of law about Antifa, right? I heard about that. It was a while ago. Yeah, it was some law that where you know they think it was like the Antifa law, something like that. I read it a while ago. It was like maybe a year back. It was they designated Antifa a terrorist group. Antifa is not even a group. It doesn't exist. Like it's crazy.
What they classify as somebody being Antifa, and what you can be classified as, how you can be classified as Antifa was crazy. Like the rule, the stipulations for it were like, being anti-fascist. You can't be anti-fascist. That was one of the stipulations, which is wild and crazy.
It's completely insane. Like completely insane. Like these I don't know, man. It's like they're they're throwing anything at the wall at this point. I don't get it. Like they're basically just throwing anything at the wall, saying and there was another one that was written like very, very badly. Where you can where I think they can go after you if you're like anti-Christian or anti-American, but they never actually quantified or clarified what does anti-Christian or anti-American even mean. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'll tell you what it is, man. They're legit techno-feudalist fascists who are using religion as a horse, as a tool to be a colonizer and to do capitalistic expansionism, Western capitalistic expansionism, and extract resources out of things. They're using religion as a tool to be the vice that does it. And historically, we know how Abrahamic religion has been. So it just matches historical record. You know what I mean? Like that whole mentality matches the historical record. In Texas, they just made it so you can teach religion in schools. Like that is absurd and crazy. And they're really chiseling at the sectarian, separation between church and state, which is very dangerous because sooner or later they're going to be you're not allowed to be pagan, you're not allowed to be this religion, you got to be within the Abrahamic sphere at all. You know what I mean? Which is very, very dangerous rhetoric. They're really, and that with the attack on teaching proper education. You know what I mean? They're trying to really re-indoctrinate everybody. And it really is largely about white power dynamics. And those people in there, like if we talk about, that documentary that was about aliens, one of the things that guy said that stuck out to me, he said, these people, we keep bringing it up, but they keep saying that don't worry about it. Those aliens are demons and angels. And that was wild to me, that some people in government hold these type of positions, these like satanic panic, Abrahamic indoctrinated point of views of reality that are not scientific, not based in fact. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy dangerous, that level of extremism. It's dang near like Nazi man, mustache man, you know,
no, it's up to that
esoteric nationalism.
Yeah, it's up to that level. It really is up to that level where if you're not a super pro gung-ho America Christian person, if you're not a Christian nationalist, they're gonna go after you. Like it, and the thing is, they're setting it up for that way, right? And people are talking about these type of, whenever I bring up these laws, especially these executive orders, where they say, you know, anti-Christian or anti-American it could be investigated or considered terrorism, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, if you do not define what exactly does anti-Christian mean, what does anti-American mean, you can go ahead and stretch that definition in order to abuse that type of power. You see what I'm saying? That makes it very, very scary. And the thing is, it's always conservatives who say that they want less government power, right? Less government power. However, the thing is, you can expand government power by making laws and orders that are completely vague. Like the one that says, you know, being anti-Christian is terrorism or whatever. If I say that black people shouldn't be Christian, would that be anti-Christian? If I say I don't support Donald Trump, is that anti-American? If I say Christianity is ridiculous and, you know, it should not be in the public sphere, at least affecting government policy, would that become anti-Christian? Would that become anti-American? If I say that America was built on slavery, is that anti-American? It doesn't. It falls into one of these things where we're not exactly clear on what the lines are, and that can expand government power. And I think a lot of these conservatives do not realize that they're supporting the expansion of government power, while these laws that they think, or these executive orders that they think has any teeth or anything like that, are going to go anywhere, and it doesn't.
I think it's 10 times dangerous, because these rich folks rather support fascism so they can do the exploitation and absorb the resources and avoid the laws, avoid the regulations, knock them all down. If you look at our parks and regulations in our parks and our environment, those things have been dismantled because of Trump. The environmental stuff that's keeping track of the ocean, dismantled by Trump. You know what I mean? Like, he's being a colonizer expansionist, and it is evident that they're using religion as a tool to do it, and that's historic. You know, the Crusades, you know, all this stuff about how those religions are colonizer in nature. You know what I mean? And so it is largely white power dynamics. There's no question about that. It is from that colonial colonizer mindset. You know what I mean? And it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. And it's definitely dangerous in a society that's supposed to have freedom of speech, freedom of religious expression. And it's a mixing pot. No matter what, you know, the idea of an American culture is a facade. It is a mixing pot of various different cultures. You know what I mean? And so when we forget that, and people start trying to make it all about, you know, white nationalism, power dynamics, and capitalism, then it's the dilution of culture. And the thing about these algorithms, right, going back to AI, you know, they are putting people in echo chambers, and those people are echo chambers become gang. They become very tribal. So the whole over-identification with identity is the whole mechanism which keeps the Americans ununited, divided, and separate from each other. You know what I mean? You have people right now who are using like esoteric systems, right? And then they're claiming it as their identity without properly fully knowing their identity. You've been there. You've heard Nation of Islam. You've heard, you know what I'm saying? You've heard these people speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
It's all around the globe. This hardening of identification is a reply to the growing nationalism around the globe that America has started, that America has fueled. You know what I mean? Because it's getting rich off of that division and that profit. You know what I mean? So people get hardened identities about their race and about their culture, but they're not focused on how capitalism is diluting their culture. You know what I mean? They think the crazy stuff. They think, oh, we have our own currency, or if we make our own little community, we can avoid being a part of the American capitalism. No, motherfucker. Capitalism doesn't allow you to do that. That's crazy. Capitalism doesn't allow you to do that.
Yeah, and
you know what
that's
I mean?
the thing. Like at the end of the day, you have to be, because Me and my wife were talking about this like the other day was like, I think it was like a couple of weeks back actually. We were talking about like, you know, is it even possible to get off the grid, go into a commune or some shit like that? But then you have to think about like, how do you actually survive? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to either be a pig farmer or a day trader or some shit like that. You're gonna have to engage in capitalism in order for you to have the you know, the clean water and all that you want to have. But what's the what if our entire society is built on maximizing profit, just keep growing profit, is going to get to a point where we use up all of our resources. We have a finite amount of resources, y'all. Infinite growth is not possible. Infinite growth is just not possible. We need to hit an equilibrium somehow, some way. And I think where people are more focused on just making more money, gathering more currency, instead of trying to hit an equilibrium. Because why do we need trillionaires? What is going to happen? Why is that so important? It's not important for us to have trillionaires, y'all. Not important for us to have billionaires. These things are not important. What do we do in order to live within our society, with each other, within the environment? Making more money doesn't do that. Yeah, you know what I mean, so I don't have an issue with making profit. I have an issue with profit over people, because even under market socialism, you can make a profit, right? Even under market socialism, but that profit, that overhead, that excess that you make should be focused on either putting it back into the business in order to grow, in order to help your employees, or responsible to the society, to the community that you're a part of. That's how pre-colonial Africa worked. There was profit. People made profit, but it was more of a communal thing, right? We're making this excess. All right, now what do we do with it? What do people need? You know what I'm saying? What did this mother need? What does this boy need? What does this tribe need? What does this village need? You know what I'm saying? And the excess went to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it worked. People still made profit, but they used the profit in order to be responsible for their community. And I think that works out better.
Like socialism, which is more like socialism.
Yeah, basically what socialism is. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Africans had socialism before Marx described it, right?
100%.
Yeah, exactly. So, and not only that, we had anarchism before. I'm not sure who was an anarchist philosopher, but before anarchist philosophers in Europe were describing anarchism, a lot of people Africans already had that. Like, which is why, like, the borders that were built by the Europeans, which is why they negatively affected Africa today, because those didn't exist. I mean, people just walked across and there were no borders. Like, that didn't matter. You see what I'm saying? So it is one of those things that I think as a society we need to start thinking more about. We just can't keep making money, y'all. Things are finite. Things are finite. So, you can't grow infinitely.
They have this. See, that's the richest game is class warfare, and they're doing class warfare, and everybody's so busy focused on survival because they have to survive. So they're not concerned unitedly. They're not concerned about the class warfare that's going on. They're not concerned about it. And the rich are making bunkers. They're you hear Bill Gates talking about micromanaging humanity. Basically, we're gonna run out of resources, so we need to start giving people like pills and supplements. And if you pay attention to like the moves that Bill Gates makes, he patents seeds. You know what I mean? He gets patents for seeds, so he owns the rights to seeds. So these corporations and these higher elites are planning a whole thing to basically wipe us out. But it doesn't work like that. No matter what, you're always going to have to, in a capitalistic system, you're always going to have a poor. That's how the system. That's how capitalism works. It does not work without the poor. You know what I mean? There always has to be somebody lesser. So these rich people who think, we're going to create a utopia. We're going to get rid of all our undesirables. We're going to go underground while we do our damage to the planet and everything. And we're going to survive, and because we have the money to survive, and they're not going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, they're dumb, because human survival is an instinct, and it is based. They'll be amazed how many people actually do survive. You know what I mean? But then you have, have you heard about Elon Musk and his laser thing that girl were ratting him out about?
There's so much shit with Elon Musk. I probably heard about it and forgot about it by now. But what happened?
Yeah. No, this girl was ratting him out about this girl that he was dating was ratting him out. Probably just pillow talk, you know what I mean? Ratting him about him having lasers that can focus in on places and do things and stuff. Like, These people are insane.
Insane people, completely insane people, man. And it's like I need to know, like, what is the importance of this? I need to know why is it so damn important to make as much currency as possible? What is the gain from here? You know what I mean? And it's like what's gonna happen with humanity? What are we doing with humanity? You know what I mean? Because I don't see this getting us anywhere closer to anything. Like Elon being a trillionaire, what does that do for anybody? What does that do for us? Everybody was glazing him for years, right? And that they said that he made 4,000 people millionaires, and then the stock dropped like a rock. Well, it didn't drop all the way; it's still up there, right? Like, luckily, the stock is still up there, but it's like he lost his trillionaire status really quickly. You know what I'm saying? So it's, matter of fact, let me see where SpaceX is right now. Where is SpaceX? Is the SpaceX stock still up?
People can't be concerned about humanity when they're always busy surviving, and that's what they keep everybody doing, being busy to survive. You know what I mean? They keep that whole thing going. Like, you know, it's sad. Like even in places like India, like, yeah, nationalism is such a poison, and America has been such a poison. Even in places like India, all of a sudden there's reforms to the spiritual pluralism of India. There's also you know, people reforming different aspects of it to conform to an identity, so it can link up and be a more accepting to Westerners. It's ridiculous the amount of power that goes behind the political nationalism formation, the underhandedness of formulating that. You know what I mean? Like, it's to cause war and to cause problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'll switch the topic up, y'all, because I really wasn't getting anybody, so I'll switch the topic up. Just let's see if we can go ahead and get some folks in on this one. Y'all see the topic on the board, and y'all see the phone number on the screen. You can go ahead and call in. I do see a lot of people commenting over on the Deconstruction Junction, but only one person actually called in. No one else is calling in. So anyway, y'all, 786-530-5941. You can go ahead and give me a call right now. You can talk about number 1, number 2, number 3, any of them on the board. If you're over on the Volsy Thoughts channel and you want to go ahead and talk to me, of course, you can go ahead and call in as well. 786-530-5941. Shout out to Weed Bro. Thank you so much for being a good mod for me tonight. Thank y'all so much. Also, what was her name? Collapsism. Thank you so much, Collapsism, for being a member and being a good mod tonight. If you're watching me over on either on Facebook or on Twitch, once again, 786-530-5941. We could go ahead and have that conversation. You can talk to me. We're just gonna go ahead and keep the night going. We'll see if we get any more calls, or if I'm gonna go ahead and end it off for tonight. I go ahead and keep tapping that screen. Oh, I actually do have another guest. All right, brother. I'm all right.
Yeah.
All right, Forrest, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1, number 2, or number 3?
We can talk about the first two. I kind of agree on the third one.
Okay, you got to agree on the third one. All right, great. So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think America was ever great, and I think Black Americans should get reparations. You disagree with those?
Yeah. So for the first one, America was ever great. Do we mean like great for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think Earth has ever been great for everyone. There have always been people who have suffered.
Agreed.
Okay. So I think you can derive some senses, some things that are great, and you could say America was great for certain people, even if it was off the backs of other people.
Yeah, and that's what I would mean by not great, because once that happens, then that what I said about the character of your country.
Yeah, but then again, I would just say then no place on earth has ever been great by your standard.
Sure, we can say that, but if America is purporting itself to be the shining city on the hill, then it should be the example, right? And it's not.
Yeah, I think, but when people say like America is great, obviously they don't mean America is great for everyone. No place on earth has ever been great for everyone, because there have always been people who have suffered.
Leave him.
No,
So
I
it's
agree
like
with
setting kind of an impossible standard.
not really. What I'm trying to say is that yeah, there's going to be people who are unequal. There's going to be people who are poor and stuff like that. That's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
There's never going to be equality of outcomes. However, America purports itself to be the land of equal opportunity, the land of meritocracy.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Freedom, liberty, justice for all.
Mythology is so fun.
Yeah,
America purports itself to be. The country reports itself to be, or the people do.
The country reports itself to be. It's in the Bill of Rights, like freedom, liberty, justice for all. That's what it is, and we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, America, like every single president and the people of itself, the culture in of itself promotes itself as equal opportunity, right? It's not that. Yeah, I mean, we don't have equal opportunity in this country. So
would you say America has been great for some people at some periods of time?
In some period of time, yeah, it's been great for white people. Yeah, I mean, but
do you think
I'm sorry, go ahead. You're breaking up, my guy.
Do you think it's ever been great for any black person?
I mean, individual black people, yeah, can be great, right? But I'm talking about like collectively. Like, sure, like America is great for like LeBron James. Like he's a fucking celebrity. You know?
Those
yeah, for sure.
Those are the people that are great. It's not America.
The people are great, or America is great for them. I mean, they live in a capitalist society. They get to feed off the effects of capitalism. They get to live, and be rich. They get to have.
Let's talk about Madam C.J. Walker, right? The first woman millionaire in America, right? Well before Jim Crow was over, right? Mm-hmm. Raised in enslavement, right? Able to become, right? That doesn't mean that America was great. It means that Madam C.J. Walker was great.
No, I'm saying America was great for them individually.
No,
like, it wasn't great as a whole, because no place has been great as a whole if the standard is people suffer.
Let me but the standard is not just people suffer. The standard is the character of the country. Madam C.J. Walker was a millionaire.
Anywhere.
Yeah, Madam C.J. Walker was a millionaire, but there were places in the South where she will still be lynched, wasn't there? You know what I mean? So it's like that's what we're talking about. The character of the country wasn't great. If you report yourself to be the shining city on the hill and you don't live up to your own standard, and you make institutions to deliberately not live up to those standards, the slogan.
I'm just saying every country on earth at some point in time or I think like all the time, like there is a group of people who will be persecuted in that country, who will face unfair treatment. So by that standard, you would say no country was ever great.
Yeah, we can say that, but I'm talking about America though. I mean, America purports to
I agree. America goes within that, but you would agree no country has ever been great?
If every other country on the planet had a Jim Crow, then no country is great. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think that's actually true. I don't think every single country had a Jim Crow or.
So which country was great?
I don't know. Talking about America.
No, I agree with you, but I'm just kind of holding. I'm taking your standard and I'm applying it elsewhere to see if it's really what you're trying to get after. You know?
No, you would have to know the history. You would have to know the history of each country fully to do that. Yeah, exactly.
I know, but we agree. Each country has had a period of time, or it's still right now. I think everywhere in the world, every country has at least one group of people who would be. No, I'm just saying if that's the standard that we're saying America has never been great. I'm saying if that's the standard by which we're saying America's not great, then every country has actively
participated. America has actively participated in genocide and enslavement.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
In a way unique in the world.
I don't know about unique. Right? There have been plenty of genocides in other parts of the world.
Not like this, man. Right? Not like this where hundreds of square miles of territory were taken from indigenous people. That has not happened anywhere else.
I mean, all of Africa? You don't think the Congo was just run over by Belgium? Are you like a colonialist apologist?
No, but what I'm saying is that that didn't happen.
Is it still Belgium?
No. I know. I'm just saying there are plenty. Like colonialism has happened all over the world. Like in all these countries, they still speak either French, German, Belgian. Like Burkina Faso was like one of the first African countries that had completely severed ties with like their European colonializer.
Yeah, and they're
like,
not
to
great
say
either.
This is completely unique. to say it's completely unique is a bit misleading because it's happened all over the country in other places.
No, the American system of slavery was unique. The American system of slavery was unique.
Oh, okay. You're talking about just slavery, or talking about just
and
slavery?
The genocide of the indigenous, the genocide of the indigenous people.
I don't think that's completely unique. I don't think that's completely. I think that's happened in other parts of the world. No, I agree. It didn't happen everywhere. Of course, it didn't happen everywhere. I'm saying it's happened in other places. That's why it's not really that unique.
Like, so it happened in other places where the settlers actually made treaties with these people, promising to leave their lands alone, and then go ahead and rushed into their lands anyway and conquered them and killed their own children. And sure, I would agree with that. Now I'm the thing is, I don't know a lot about Native American history, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and try to argue with that. I would say that the American system of slavery is unique, but when it comes to the Native American genocide, there are I've heard the arguments that it is a unique one, but I would say people who are know more Native American history, they're the ones who should talk about that. I shouldn't be the one to talk about that because I wouldn't be able to explain.
You and I, maybe we're not like the foremost experts. I think we largely agree on the first one, but I think it's more like no place in the world has ever been great. Like that's the standard. But we can talk about the second one because I'm kind of curious to hear more. I don't really want to argue for the second one. I just kind of want to curious to hear like what your idea of reparations are, what they should be. What does that look like to you?
My idea of reparations would be compensation and changing of entire systems that deliberately undermined the progress of African Americans.
Okay. For the first one, do you think it's direct fiscal compensation, like money into the bank account?
Yeah, well, to the family, not just to every single individual. You're not going to give like a 5-year-old African American kid $500,000, right? You're going to give it to his parents. So it'll go to the families. And if we do it that way, you can pay off reparations within like 5 years, because I think the largest calculations that I've seen, it went as high as $18 trillion and as low as like
that's like 9 times our national debt or 6 times our national debt.
Yeah, I've seen it as high as 18 and as low as 7. You know what I'm saying? So it's between those amounts. So you can, we already do $1 trillion a year to the military, right? We can do 500 billion each year until it's all paid off. It might take us 15 or 20, but it can still get paid off,
I think I might agree, like reparations would be a good thing. I just don't think it should be direct fiscal compensation, money into your pocket, at least not for everyone blindly. Because I think government programs are more beneficial than just giving someone money and allowing them to spend it on whatever they want. Because you don't know whether they're going to actually put that money to good use. It could be gone in a generation, and that defeats the whole point of reparations. Reparations should be things that are designed to last multiple generations. You know what I mean?
But the problem is
calling it blindly is ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Like, it's not blindly.
Well, you said every single family,
absurd.
Right?
Well, here's what I'll say. Give me one second. Here's what I would say. Right. The reason why I'm more iffy on government programs is because it depends heavily on the social system at the time, right? Because look what happened with Roe v. Wade. You see what I'm saying?
Look what happened with affirmative action.
And affirmative action, exactly. Which is why I'm iffy on government programs, because the moment society becomes more right wing and turns against it, we've seen that conservatives played a long game. So once they turn against it, they can roll back all that progress. Which is why
that's the tricky thing.
It's a tricky thing.
I think we should have government institutions, government programs that benefit people who were, who are more disparate today due to the effects of slavery, Jim Crow laws, etc. But I think just giving someone money or giving a family money just on the basis of them being black is not the kind of thing that we can assure is going to last multiple generations and be beneficial for multiple generations. Somebody, and I'm not even saying people are going to spend it irresponsibly. Somebody might start a business and that business goes bankrupt, right? And then where goes the money? What did they really reap from reparations?
Are you kidding? That makes them viable to be president. What are you talking about, man? Like, the thing about this is that it's so patronizing to act like so patronizing to act like people don't deserve the payments that were given, right? Reconstruction got cut off in the 1880s, right? They never paid the bill. Now, if you had, like, say, taken someone's stuff, all of their stuff, and then kicked them onto the street, right, as like your own behavior, and then never had to pay that bill, you'd be in jail, right?
Yeah, depending on how I did it.
Okay, so like the bill is unpaid. The fact that it's been unpaid for a long time is no excuse not to pay the bill.
Okay. But here's what I'm saying. We should pay the bill. We should pay the bill in the form of government programs, which I agree it's hard to really execute because they can be repealed, and that's just kind of a side effect of the democracy that we live in. So I do agree. We should pay them using government programs that everyone can benefit off equally. But again, just putting money in someone's bank account, like I said, someone could start a business, the business goes bankrupt, boom, they benefited zero from reparations.
Here's
and so are we going to do them again?
Right, but here's the
for
problem.
that individual person?
Here's the problem.
But the economy benefits
hold
from
on,
the
wait,
reparations.
Right, not the person.
Wait, hold on. Listen, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're thinking about this too much on an individual level, because one thing you need to understand about the Black community and the African community and at large is that it's extremely communal. So people will benefit by proxy. It's not just that one person that's going to get $500,000 and go bankrupt within 5 or 6 years or something like that. If his neighbors are also either creating businesses, clearing up their debt, able to do more things with that money and expand the economic base of their community, he will still benefit by proxy, even if he blows the $500,000. The fact that his community was able to come up, the fact that he was able to buy a home, he has more options, he has more liquidity than he would have had before if he just had that $500,000 and nobody else did. Huh?
Should we just give them homes instead of money? Is that kind of what we're arguing? Because if it's just money that they can spend whatever they want on, then that's not the same argument as saying he was able to buy a home. He might have been able to buy a home, but maybe he didn't buy a home. I agree. Home ownership is something that is, it is like the number one way to stay out of
bankruptcy. Yeah, exactly.
That's
then
fine.
are we
So
saying we
like
should just
all
give
the houses
homes?
that were stolen from African American people during Jim Crow have to go back to their descendants.
Yeah. So
And that
let's
white
give
people
homes
need
and
to
not
get
money.
So
put
there's
the
that.
fuck out.
Right. So there's
because they
that.
stole their shit.
There's Special Order
Should we give
15
homes
that gave them
instead of
land.
money?
So hold on, there's that. There's a Special Order 15 that gave African Americans land as well. That was taken back. That should go back to the descendants, in my opinion. But and the other thing that I would say is that you're saying that if we give them money, we can't guarantee long-term change, right? I disagree with that, because if you see the way that African Americans actually do spend their money, the majority of it is on necessities anyway. It's just that we just don't have a lot of disposable income.
I don't know about that. Studies have shown African Americans are the largest consumer base of luxury products in America.
Right, but which
It's
products?
not. Louis Vuitton, Mercedes-Benz, number one customer, African Americans. Louis Vuitton, number one customer, African Americans.
Right, but
those are not necessities.
But the thing is, you think that Black people are spending most of their money on Louis Vuitton?
I think everyone is spending most of their money. Well, depending on your range, your socioeconomic range. If you're in the lower class, you're going to be spending most of your money on necessities because you have to meet the necessities first. But there are a lot of people who are spending their extra money on things that are not necessities.
Right.
Why give someone more money so they can spend it on a non-necessity?
Wait, hold on. Forrest, listen. Mercedes-Benz, their number one consumers being African Americans, does not mean that African Americans are suddenly spending a large portion of their money on luxuries. That doesn't.
No, I agree with you. Well, right. Not for every single one of them. Sure, yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that the research into it, especially the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the one that actually does this, it shows that the majority of African American money, at least 1/3 to 1/5, is spent on housing, transportation, and food, the necessities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's say right. Yeah, because you got to meet the necessities first, and then unfortunately.
Right. And the thing
is
about
African Americans are below the poverty line or around the lower class socioeconomic.
Exactly.
That's the unfortunate facts. Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing is, it shows that also the African Americans tend to have less disposable income. You know what I mean? And now when we do have
What
disposable
happens
income,
when they do have a bunch of
You know,
disposable
can I
income?
say
We
some-
see
can
that
I
they
say-
are spending it on things that aren't
May I
necessary.
say
so is
and
everybody
that's
else.
how that goes.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody else is as well.
That's
It's
how
not
that goes. But I'm saying we should, if we are to give them money, we can't guarantee that they won't spend it on things that don't benefit them in the
And
next
it's none of your
generation.
fucking
And then we end
business.
up
And that won't be
It's
none of our
none of your
business.
business.
problem.
And
It's
that
none
won't
of
be
your
none of our
business
business.
what they spend it on. It's
Because
their
we
money.
business.
we
I'm an
don't
American
ask
taxpayer.
we don't
If
ask we don't, hold on
reparations are
we
paid
don't
for by
hold
American
on listen
taxes, then
listen
absolutely it's my business.
listen we don't access billionaires, do we? Because when billionaires
You said
get
what?
we don't access billionaires when they get government contracts, when they get subsidies, no one cares. I was like, well, I mean, I care. Yeah, I'm sure you care, but like majority of people don't care. Yeah, they just get government contracts and subsidies, and they just get them. You know what I'm saying? No one bats an eye. When BP and Shell get $3 billion in American in government contracts and subsidies, like that's just the cost of doing business, right? But then we kind of penny pinch when it comes to African Americans, and I think that's kind of silly. Hold on, Caddy want to say something, and then I have G up there. G, I'll get you in a second. Caddy, what did you want to say?
Here's the messed up thing. Even if reparations were to go through, the struggles of the Black American community would still be there because of systematic racism, and even within the capitalistic space. So we talk about fair and equal power dynamics. That is largely still held by white people, and that is something that you have to really come to terms with. You could give them a house, and you could give them a food card that lets them have food for life, and there still would be struggles in the capitalistic space to have valid recognition and recognition. So, yeah, the struggle still exists even after reparations.
That's kind of my point, is that if money is not guaranteed to help every single person that it's given to, we shouldn't do it. We should do government programs that are guaranteed to help the Black community, such as affirmative action. We should bring it back, such as all these other things.
Yeah,
I don't think it should be directly monetary fiscal dollar signs in the bank account.
Yeah,
I think that's not something that's necessarily guaranteed, because a lot of people don't have financial literacy. We can't trust that they're going to spend it on something that's going to benefit them.
Well,
sure, it might go back to the economy, but not necessarily.
We don't have a say in that.
Everybody pause. The thing is, Forrest, the majority of issues that we see, like a lot of the contemporary issues that we see in the African community.
You're the issue because you're a dirty black nigger.
Yeah, I know. So the issues that we see within the African American community, the contemporary issues that we see, from health, crime, education, etc. It all goes back to one thing: money. All of it goes back to money. You know what I'm saying? Because people, we just don't have the.
But not 100% of the time.
Of course, not every single. Of course, not every single African American issue. Of course, not every single African American has issue of money, right? I'm talking about the contemporary issues that we have, health, poverty, all that. It all goes back to money. It all goes back to that. So I would say, if they have more of an extended, if the community has more of an economic base to build itself up, you would see these things go. Get a lot better. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna try to give them $500,000 all at one time, right? It's gonna get paid out over the course of years, probably like $50,000.
Forrest, it's about giving a firm foundation to people that have a firm foundation that did not have a firm foundation or do not have a firm foundation, because that firm foundation of having a house, being able to have food, being able to have money,
let's give them a house.
To be able, well, there's more than just a house. It's also about
let's give them a house. Let's give them money. Let's not give them. Let's give them a house. Let's give them food. Let's not give them money.
No, give them money.
For the same reason, I don't.
They can spend that money on the houses and the food that they want.
Yeah, they could.
I'm not sure why we're pitching.
Let's give them. Of
course, they're not required to. Of course, they're not required to, but
mortgages. Let's not give them money that they are literally free to spend on whatever they want.
I'm not sure why we
incentivize them to give the things that you're saying they should spend the money on.
Right, but
if they should spend the money on these things, let's make them spend the money on.
Forrest,
let's just give them those things.
Forrest. In my opinion, that's exactly what they're gonna do, because again, the majority of black spending is. Yeah, we do, because again, look at the spending patterns. The studies
it's on
show
necessities.
that
What
it's on
happens when they
necessities.
have $500,000 in disposable income?
They're gonna get a
What happens
house.
when that?
They're gonna get a house and gonna get a car.
You don't know that. You're not guaranteed that they're going to get a house.
You
some
really
of them
think?
may. Yes, some of them may. I think that'd be the smart
Majority
thing to
of
do.
the majority of them
But if they
may
should go get a house.
Hold on,
let's
wait,
just give them a house.
hold on. I think the majority of them are going to do that. You really think there's going to be a large portion of black people
So
who's
my
gonna
question to you,
who's gonna get?
is, why are you pocket watching people anyway? Like, why does it
Yeah, I
matter
know-
how
I know why you're pocket
We're
watching
talking
niggas.
about something that's potentially funded by taxpayer money.
I got you. Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on. Pause. Forrest, I really don't understand why you think that if not the majority, a good portion of African Americans who may be in working class or maybe in poverty, working check to check, are gonna get a windfall of $125,000 to $200,000 and then go ahead and then blow it on a Birkin bag. They're not gonna do that, bro.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's majority of what's going to happen. Even if 10% of people, even if 5% of African Americans do that, we're talking about a very small portion. I would say that's a failure in the system. We shouldn't allow taxpayer money to go towards Birkin bags. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen like en masse. I'm just saying there shouldn't even be a possibility for it.
So you're saying that
you agree with that?
You're saying that if we do reparations, it needs to be earmarked if they get the money for it. Like, it needs to go towards a certain thing. You have to use this money to buy a house. You have to use the money to upgrade your car. You have to use this money to, like, you have to earmark the money basically.
See, that's why I'm against just giving the money in the first place. Because even if they buy those things, they can sell them. You know, there are a lot of people who are not financially literate. And I'm not saying that this is just black people. I'm saying white people, like, there are people of all races that are not financially literate. We should give them, that's why I'm saying we should give them programs. We should give them things like interest-free loans on houses, interest-free loans on schooling, or just kind of give them school for free. I think those things are better than
right. So Forrest, let me
giving the money. It's like, look, give a man a fish, you feed him for one day, teach a man to fish, you feed him for the rest of his life.
So look, I don't think anybody disagrees with teach a man to fish, right? I don't think anybody disagrees with that. Left, right, center, no one disagrees with that. Here's the thing, right? When it comes to the actual money, because we've actually seen this happen in real life. When we had programs, like, for example, over in Africa, right? Over in Africa, there's USAID. There's programs in order to help these people out. Exactly what you're saying. Those government programs. What we've seen is that even after years on these programs, you don't see a lot of changes in these villages or these communities. Then someone,
I would say because
hold on,
Forrest,
hold on.
Yeah.
So when they do these programs, even when they go around the government, they go straight to the villages, and they have a program in. They've seen that over the course of a few years, nothing changes in the village. But then someone did an experiment. They changed it. You know what they did? They gave the
money to the people.
They gave the money directly to them, and guess what they saw? They saw the changes. You see what I'm saying? So like that's what I mean. We have to learn how to trust people to do what's best for themselves. And I'm not sure why we're having such an issue with this when it comes to African Americans. But everybody else, no one pocket watches. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean, I think if people were like, hey, we're going to give Jews reparations for the Holocaust tomorrow, everyone would be like, yo, did it really?
Yeah, that happened.
I don't know anything about it. I mean, can you explain?
Yeah, Germany did the same thing. They gave reparations in the state of Israel. Like basically.
Well, the state of Israel, that's a little different than giving money directly to people. So I would say, like, let's learn from Germany. If Germany gave money directly to every single family that was impacted by the Holocaust, maybe I might take it more seriously. But is Germany giving interest-free loans? Is Germany directly like giving setting up government programs, or are they putting money in people's pockets to spend on whatever they want?
You know we did this before, right? With the Japanese.
Yeah. Again, I'm unfamiliar. I don't know.
Yeah, the Japanese got reparations.
We did it with white slave owners.
All right,
we put money in the Japanese pocket, in every single Japanese person's pocket.
They got about $30,000 for the ones who were affected by the
internment camps. for the internment camp. Yeah, I remember that.
Why did he hang up? Hey, caller, why'd you hang up? Like, caller, call ahead and call back. Caller, I think your name was John Forth or something like that. Call back because I'm not sure what happened there. You can go ahead and call me back, and then we can go ahead and keep talking. But anyway, I think they got about 20 to 30K a piece. And
yeah, I think I actually have heard of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
I mean, maybe I'll need to look into it more. I do think, like, I'll just tell you, like, my immediate impression of that is that, like, I don't know exactly where the Japanese people like on math kind of lied like socioeconomically before World War II.
Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1
maybe
second. Everybody give me 1 second. Everybody give me 1 second. What the heck happened? Hey, why do you keep hanging up? The person who's calling in, I'm not sure why you keep hanging up. Go ahead and call me back, please, so we can go ahead and have a conversation, because I'm not sure why you call in and then hang up. But anyway, yeah. So the Japanese got weapons. I think they got 20K a piece, and they just kind of spent it on whatever. Now their economic condition, I think before World War I, I'm not sure what it was. I won't be able to tell you. But like at the end of the day, I think we need to trust people to do what's best for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we need to earmark Black American reparations. I don't think we need to do that.
Yeah, I think we kind of just gonna disagree, because I'm not the most like trusting person, you know, like, and maybe that's just kind of a result of the accumulation of life experiences. But when it talks about something that, when we're talking about something that's like on the scale of what you're talking about, you know, I mean, compared the percentage of Americans that were Japanese and in internment camps compared to now we're talking about like 15% of the population, you know, like the scale is being, you know, 1,000x. And it would be a lot of money into the economy. There might be inflation. Like, I think there's just a lot that goes into it. And like, I appreciate everything you said. I guess I just need to do more research on it. But as of right now, I think I'm still kind of just unconvinced that direct fiscal monetary compensation is the best plan of action. And maybe it's a smaller amount. Maybe it's not 500K. I don't know. Maybe there should be an application process. Hey, I need this much amount of money to do X or Y, and you know, if they
I understand.
Then,
I get not being very, very trusting, right? But for me, I trust Black Americans to do what's best for them. I think they would do what's, one of them? Yeah, I mean, no, of course not.
I trust them to do what's best for them.
Yeah,
I don't know but what's best for them in the short term might not be what's best for them
in the long term. Yeah, of course.
Their grandchildren, and you know, like that.
And that's the thing. I think the majority of them will. Of course, you're gonna have people who's gonna get their yearly reparations of, let's say we give them $75,000-$100,000 a year. You're gonna get someone.
Everyone would just quit their job.
I mean, shit.
Unemployment would rise to like 17%. It would be like unsustainable.
No, I don't think they'll quit their job. What I think they'll do is they'll probably just put that back into the.
If I give you $125K a year for the next 5 years, are you quitting your job?
Probably, but I'm gonna be.
Probably, right?
Of course, but I'm gonna be investing in, aren't I? You know what I'm saying? What I think a lot of African Americans would do. They'll be investing it. They'll like I said, either start businesses, invest into. Yeah, they either start businesses or invest into. They would either start businesses or they will create institutions. They'll create banking institutions. They'll do things like that. They'll go ahead and they'll create more doctors, invest into hospitals, stuff like that. If I'm gonna get
hope, but I don't think all of them are gonna. I don't think, like, most
for example,
of them are
if I would get $125,000 a year, now I'm not a Black American, so I won't get it anyway.
Yeah.
If I were gonna get $125,000 a year for the next 5 to 6 years, and I know someone else is gonna get $125,000 a year for the next 5 to 6 years, we're gonna put our heads together and be like, all right, what does our community need?
And I think you're very smart for that, but I don't know if everyone's gonna do that. I think the average American is close to $150,000 in debt, and most people are going to want to pay off their debt first. Yeah, and then they're going to be left with nothing in the first year.
I mean, the thing is,
so I think there's a lot more that we have to consider.
Right. Here's the thing. If a person is about, let's say, the average, I'm not sure what the average African American debt is, but I know it's higher than white American. But let's say that they're in debt, right? And the debt is like $6,000-$7,000, but they know that they're going to get reparations of that year of $50,000. Let's say that year, that $10,000 they're going to pay it off, and with that other $40,000, what are they going to do with it? They're going to put it right back into the bank, invest it into something else, go on vacation maybe, but that's fine,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, but you can accept that there's going to be a percentage of them that are not going to do that, and they're going to spend it on something that is not going to benefit the next generation, right? Like, there's going to be a portion of them that go and buy a really nice car.
Yeah.
And that's not going to help the next generation. That's something that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. Yes. I think you're really optimistic, and I think I'm kind of pessimistic.
Right.
And I think we should,
Right. So there are going to be people who spend it on a car, who spent it on a Mercedes, right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That is gonna happen, but I don't think by large and I'm just gonna go ahead and block.
I'm not saying it's gonna be a majority of them. I'm saying it's gonna be some of them. It might be 5-10% of them. Hopefully it's less than that. But what happens to those 5-10% in 5 years? They're gonna say, man, those reparations, they didn't really help me out. I need more reparations. Are we gonna say then, like, tough shit, you spent your money?
No, yeah, tough shit, you spent your money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right,
that's exactly what we're gonna tell them. Like, tough shit.
So, yeah.
You know, so and not only that, it'll be black people telling them that too. It'll be like, bro, they gave you reparations, and you blew it. Like, tough shit, bro. Like, like that was on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there'll be black people tell them that too. But the thing is, I think when it comes to the black American community, again, it's very, very communal. If people will benefit by proxy. The dude who has a food truck, who sells out his food truck every weekend, he's gonna expand that to a restaurant. He's gonna hire people to be in that restaurant. And not only that, those kids, he's gonna probably hire some teenagers to work in that restaurant. He's gonna be able to pay them, and he's gonna know that. And because not only that, like the way that create more jobs, and the way that black people work. Like, because I know that this is me just for as someone who's Caribbean, but for African Americans,
where are you from?
I'm from Haiti.
Okay,
but
nice.
I know the
oh yeah, you got the flag.
Yeah, so I know for black people, like globally, like our parents, like they make you know the value of money, right? They're not gonna let you blow it, even if they're like millionaires. I've met millionaire black people who made their kids still get jobs because, like, you're not gonna live off me. You know what I'm saying? So like they teach you the value of money. Exactly.
And also, so I gotta like, I'm some of these comments I'm not understanding. Let's say they were paid reparations and they wanted to blow it all on whatever the fuck they wanted to blow it all on. Do you believe in freedom? Are you American or no?
Yeah, I believe in the freedom to decide what my taxpayer money goes towards.
Right.
That's what it's going towards. I have the freedom to say I object to it.
Buddy, whoa.
Well, hold on. Respond to that.
Buddy.
Respond to that.
Hold on, man. Hold on. So,
well,
did you remember
my? I mean,
no, you're not. What was my question?
Do I believe in freedom? And I said, yes, I do believe in freedom.
Hold on, buddy.
Wait, why can't I talk?
Buddy. So I asked you what's known as a binary question. Do you know what that is?
I answered with a yes. Yes, I know what a binary question is.
Right, and then stop. Full stop.
But I
didn't
gave
ask
you a yes.
to continue to yap on.
I gave you a yes, and I explained why.
So here's the other.
Do you have a problem with me explaining my answer?
Yo, why are you talking? You said you gave me a yes. You're done with your answer. Now
no, I'm saying, do you have a problem with me explaining my answer?
Yes.
Like, are you afraid of me explaining my answer?
Yes, I didn't have a. I'm done asking you for an explanation.
Okay.
Calm down.
Go ahead.
Just chill. So, let's say reparations were given, and some small portion of people wanted to blow it on frivolous things. Because I live in America, I'm an American, and here, at least in the part of America in which I reside, we believe in something called freedom. And a person has the freedom to. Well, you're implying that if people don't spend their money in the way that you deem appropriate, then they are not deserving of the reparations.
Hold on. So do you think banks are anti-freedom? Because when you go to the bank and you ask for a loan, they're going to ask you what you're going to spend it on to see if you can pay it back.
What was my?
Would you say the bank is anti-freedom? Like, I don't think this is analogous. I think this is.
I heard your question. What did you hear me say?
Okay, you said, if you think that people shouldn't have the freedom to spend their money on like frivolous means, then you're anti-freedom.
At what part of my statement mentioned or alluded to a bank?
No, I agree. You didn't mention a bank. I'm bringing it up as a counter argument. This is what's known as a counter argument.
Hold on. Why did you ask me, do I think banks are anti-freedom?
Because this is known as a counter argument. I'm bringing up something that you should consider that might make you change your position.
I got you. Let me explain to you why it's not a counter argument. Why it's what we call disanalogous.
Well, it is. You can say it's not a good one, but it is literally a counter argument.
If you're honest and willing to engage intellectually, I'll engage. I'll tell you why you're wrong.
I think I've been that so far. I think the host would agree.
Okay, let's see then. What does a bank do to a customer?
Well, what do you mean? There are many different services that a bank can offer.
The one that you were in the analogy which you made. What is the bank doing to the customer?
Yes, a bank is giving its money to someone.
It's not just giving away free money. A bank is doing something called giving a loan. What is a reparation not?
A reparation is not a loan, but here's the
beautiful. Do you understand? Hold on, stop.
Oh, I completely understand that. I completely understand that. But just like in your
dude, damn, chill, man.
Well, I can't respond. You
Calm
just say, dude, chill.
Just calm down.
Hey, I'm plenty calm, man. I'm just trying to respond.
What's happening here is what a reparation is not a loan. It is a payment of services provided that need to be paid for, that are outstanding. It is something that was due to these people for 200 years, not only deprived of freedom, but also labor, and then furthermore, generational wealth deprived that robbed this group of people of having a foothold from being able to build capital. So this isn't a loan. It is something that was due to be given to them, it was deprived of them.
Okay. Here's why I think you and I would disagree.
Hold on. A banking loan, a bank gives you a loan. It has no reason to. A bank can put whatever stipulations it wants because a bank is a private institution. It can say, listen, you're coming to ask me for money. I want to know when. I want to know how. I want to know why. I want to know everything about you. I want to know what your personal asset, blah, blah,
totally
blah.
Agree. Credit score, all that. Yep.
So there is no analogy whatsoever here. What we're talking about is freedom of a human being to spend their money as they wish, and a private institution having the freedom to do what they want. No, do I think a bank, to answer your question, your disanalogous, dishonest ass question, because you seem like an intelligent enough fellow, so that means you're being dishonest on purpose. So the disanalogous question that you asked, the bank has you are engaging in bad faith, and I'm going to expose you, and I know you're crashing.
No, I'm explaining why you're.
But it's good.
Let me respond to you.
Let me respond to 22 people watching. Usually has 50.
Well, you don't want me to respond, so
it's going to be recorded. A bank,
you don't want me to respond.
Being a private institution, can put whatever fucking
I agree with you. I agree with you.
And so a bank isn't anti-freedom. You would be anti-freedom for saying that the bank can't have stipulations.
Let me tell you why I draw the analogy. Can I do that?
Go ahead.
Wait, I'm not allowed to respond?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to expose you next.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Okay, so here's the reason I draw it as an analogy.
This is a white supremacist racist for sure. Because, and 1 second, real quick, the dog whistle I want everybody to listen to. Oh, you know how black people are. They're going to be spending it on big purchases.
I never said that. I said maybe it's 5
they're just going to be wasting money.
I think I'm on your side.
They're not going to be doing intelligent things. They don't have the capacity.
I don't think any white supremacist is going to say I support reparations.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm talking to not you. I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to everybody else watching. I just wanted everybody. I know everybody caught it already, and I just wanted to reiterate because this is the kind of bullshit they be on, guys.
Yeah, this guy thinks I'm a white supremacist, even though I'm pro-reparation.
I lived in the deep South.
Hold on. Go ahead, Zayto.
I lived in the deep South, and every other motherfucker would use this exact line. Oh, you know how black people are, man. Their house be in tatters.
I never said that,
but you'll see a blinged out Escalade in their front lawn. They don't have the wherewithal or the good sense to invest and so on. They rob, and if you look in the deep South, from especially where I resided, the populations, the distribution of population,
it's not a race thing. It's socioeconomic.
Watch how he said it's not a race thing. It's
not. There are white people that don't know how to
where
live.
The slaves used to be kept, and the rich and the whitey rich folks would be on the places where
I'm in Michigan, but all right.
It is 100% a race thing, and if you look at the wealth distribution, the poverty is unequally distributed amongst the black folk.
No, I agree with that.
All right, can I pause real quick? Can I pause real quick because I do got it. No. First, I got you. No, I'm gonna let you respond. I'm gonna let you respond. Give me a second. All right, I'm gonna let you respond. But we do have Yosef on the stage. I think Yosef is actually a black American. But Forrest, I'm gonna let you respond. But I want to hear from Yosef. Okay, but go ahead and respond what you were saying.
I can go now.
Yeah, you can go now. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the reason that I drew the analogy to the bank. Because the bank has the money, right? The bank has the money. It's not yet the person that they're lending it to. I think of my taxpayer money as a loan. I don't think of my taxpayer money as something that's going to get paid back in the form of actual dollars, but I do trust that, or I hope that the government is going to spend it on something that is going to benefit society. So when I pay taxpayer dollars, I hope that's going to be reinvested into the society. And in a roundabout ways, it's going to come back as something that benefits me. That's why I draw it as a comparison to a loan. So I agree. I totally agree with you. Like it's not one-to-one, but that's why I drew that analogy.
I have to counter you here, Forrest. I got to counter you here. Your money is not going where it's supposed to go in the first place. So why the F should it matter who gets what money? I mean, to be honest with you, and this is something owed. It's not a loan. This is something owed for the struggle. So like, it's not something that, if you're so focused on who gets what money and for what reasons people get what money, then you need to look at the whole fucking American system, because the money ain't getting distributed right at all.
That's why I vote for the party that wants to reduce military.
You're being pro-capitalist. You're being pro-capitalist when you say.
Well, unfortunately, we do live in a capitalist society, or a complete.
Therein lies the problem. Capitalism has haves and have-nots, and you trying to complain about who gets money is just keeping that have and have-not system going.
I want to update everyone. I want to update everyone. For the guy who's calling me a white supremacist, I'm literally pro reparations. We're debating on how these reparations.
Okay, so everybody pause. I do want to hear from Yosef. Yosef.
All right. I appreciate your time, man.
Hey, no problem. All right, Yosef. Go ahead. What did you want to say, please? Oh, did he leave?
Yes. No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Yosef. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to speak as someone who is American descendant of slavery, from chattel slavery, being first generation, who hasn't picked cotton, who's in the effects of generational setbacks. Is how casual. Typically white audiences speak when it pertains to reparations, as far as how it should be dealt out. And this is an amazing criticism and amazing creativity that comes into play when it comes to American descendants of slavery that no other group gets, right? The Japanese, like you mentioned earlier in 1988, the civil liberties under Reagan were given 20,000 plus apiece. There was no problem. And even 40% of Japanese didn't think they should. They did a poll and 40% believe they shouldn't get reparations, right? So, but when it comes to American descendants of slavery, as I commented, we are treated as if we are perpetual children, perpetual adolescents, and it's pretty much the position in our country is people tell us what to do with things because, unfortunately, the white majority of the whites believe that we can't handle money and things of that nature, but we actually have proof that we actually save more per capita with the money that we do have. We just don't have as much because of course, slavery, Jim Crow, and mass incarceration, things of that nature, and just massive violence that happened since Reconstruction. That happens constantly since then. There's been a battle from the 8 years that we were in power during Reconstruction. We had 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment passed during that time period. But for whatever reason, we are looked at as children when it comes to reparations, as if we can't stand up as men and women to be able to use our resources in the way that needs to be used. Most of our money goes to necessities, things that we need. It's going to get taken care of first. But unfortunately, we're looked at as perpetual adolescents, perpetual children. And it's just interesting how people who aren't American descendants of slavery can casually talk about us in the way as if we're just a class of irresponsible individuals, which is the furthest from the truth, right? And so I just want to outline my fascination with the comment or the commentary therein about how reparations should be handled. Now, me being a part of the American Descendants of Slavery Advocacy Foundation, we already have a reparations framework. We already know how we want to divide the money. We already know what age we want to start giving the money out. We already know there's education. This is a framework that's already, you can go on Amazon right now, reparations, American Descendants of Slavery, reparations framework, and look for yourself. It's a quick read, maybe about 85 pages. And we outline exactly how we're going to get our $20 trillion down payment and exactly what to do with it. And we know there are charlatans in every community, and we have safeguards to protect us when we do receive reparations from it going back out to those people who are charlatans in our community, other communities as well, and to protect us from the money being sucked right back out of the community. So all these things have already been thought. We have think tanks. We have things that aren't popular in social media, but these conversations we went over with people in academia, and we brooded over this information. So we already have our framework. We're ready. We're just waiting on, at this point, we're waiting on the money, and we're fighting for federal reparations, meaning that it will not cost you, you will not see it in your taxes. You don't pay for it personally. It's federal reparations, just like during the COVID pandemic. These checks were given out from Department of Treasury, right? Some people complained about it, but you see how the money was given out then, and it wasn't a hard thing. One thing the American government knows how to do is pay money. They're great at paying money. They have no issue with giving money. We saw it during COVID that they put out trillions of dollars very easily, right? So it's not something that can't be done. When somebody say how we're going to do this, it's been done, and it can be. If we're owed a debt, you pay the debt. If someone gets in a car accident, now I'll land with this: if someone gets in a car accident and they get hurt and they get injured, there's no expectation of them not getting money. For their injury, the expectation is for them to get paid out. It's not for them to take a class on how to spend the money or have financial literacy of how they're going to get their check, or make sure they, take all these things and these courses, and maybe they should have interest-free loans on interest-free car loans from now in perpetuity. No, the expectation when you get injured, when you get hurt, when you get damaged in some way, form, or fashion, you are paid compensation, period. And we've been economically damaged since Reconstruction, right? And so it's a debt that's owed because we're damaged. We have the economic data showing the difference between Black Americans or American descendants of slavery, between Haitian Americans, between Jamaican Americans, between every other Black group. American descendants of slavery or Black Americans have the lowest amount of capital, have the lowest amount of wealth, have the lowest amount of income, and we've been here the longest. Make it make sense. It's not because we make bad decisions. It's not because baby mamas. It's not because of drugs. It's not because you spend money on Jordans. It's not because you're irresponsible. It's because of the system of racism that doesn't allow us to get the means that we're supposed to have from generation to generation, and wealth getting stolen from us just by being Black, having your home being worth less than a white person just by being Black, right? And so these things have to be addressed in a realistic manner and in an honest manner, in an academic manner, which we've already addressed. And so again, I'll land my plane here. We need to really have a serious conversation about when it's going to be paid, not how. But when? That's the next conversation. So I'll land my plane there.
Hey, Joseph, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I want you to stay up. I actually wanted to ask because you said the conversation is when it's going to be paid, not how, and I agree with that, right? I've always been interested in the logistics, actually getting people to support it and being in the seats, because we know Congress holds the power of the purse, right? And it looks like the Congress, well, of course now, doesn't seem to be supporting it, right? Maybe if more of people who are DSA gets in there, more of them will support it. But the Congress that's in there now, unfortunately, even a lot of the Black ones, even if they are ADOS, don't seem to be don't have the courage to actually support this framework. What do you think needs to happen then? Because I know electoral politics is slow, right? But I do think more people within Congress supporting it and pushing for it would have this happen at least sooner, even within our lifetimes. Let me know what you think, Joseph.
Right, that's a great question. So as far as Congress is concerned, the first thing we're working on now is delineation, right? We have to delineate the data from those who are American descendants of slavery from all other Blacks. Once we have that and actually have a designation, right, on paperwork. So usually when you fill out paperwork, when it goes down to race, you have Black, or you'll say Black/African American, right, which covers a lot of people. And when you don't have that delineation, what you get is the results of what happened with the reparations in what was it, Illinois, I believe it was, when they were trying to give out reparations on a local level, but the Supreme Court struck it down because they did it based on race. You can't use race; you have to use lineage. So we have to delineate according to lineage and have information and data that is based on lineage and not on race, because race is too broad of a category. It fluctuates, it changes from time to time. 100 years ago, certain European groups weren't included in being white, right? And at one point in time, Jews weren't considered to be white. Right. So what we're doing now is trying to delineate with the OMB, the Office of Management Budget. And we tried first time, we have to wait another round. So we can have that delineation. Once we have that delineation based on lineage, then we can have the argument in court. But as far as anything going in the Congress and Supreme Court, all these things will be struck down because reparations cannot be race-based, right? It has to be lineage-based. So that's the first hurdle that we have to get over is having that delineation and being able to mark off on your paperwork for if you're doing a loan or if you're applying for a job, to have that delineation that you are American descendants of slavery. or a different type of black person, right? And so that's the first hurdle, is getting over that. Once we get over that, then just a few more hurdles, but that's the biggest one at the moment.
I actually agree with getting disaggregated data, right? Because even though we being black people in America, we may have like similar struggles. That doesn't mean that the struggles are coming from the same exact way. Like, for example, it's kind of a stereotype, but they said that a lot of black Americans, when it comes to health, there's an issue like diabetes and stuff like that, right? Haitians have that same issue, but I know for us, it's because of diet, right? But when it comes to black Americans, it may not be because of that. It might be because of something else. So we got to get that disaggregated data to see what it is. One idea that I've thought of, I'm not sure if that's something that exists in y'all framework, is that, on those paperwork, like how you're saying, you see how they have white Hispanic and white non-Hispanic. They can do the same thing for ADOS, right? Have black ADOS, black non-ADOS. Like, that's something that can be happen like quickly. Why do you think they're not doing that? Like, because I think that's the most simplest way.
Right. It's happening slowly in certain states. They're starting to adopt it, but it's a struggle because we have to, as far as the office of management, the OMB has to have that designation, and it has to be something that's nationwide. Right now, it's in certain areas locally, so it has to be a nationwide thing, which is very hard. And so we've had, when they had the OMB, the meeting, I think it was about 2 years. They have it every few years where they have these different designations, right? The one of the most recent designations was Middle Eastern, right? And so we were arguing, how could someone be classified as Middle Easterns, but we can't be classified as ADOS, right? Yeah. And it's just strange to us that these newer groups to America, right? They can have their own designation, but we can't, right? And so unfortunately, it wasn't enough of us to be able to get the OMB to accept the offer. So we're going to try to come in mass, and we're not looking for the whole entire nation of American descendants of slavery. We're just looking for a critical mass. That's all we need, is a critical mass of ADOS and those who are supportive of ADOS to be able to establish that designation. And once that designation is established, again, it's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. If once established, then we can have the conversation about who gets reparations. But right now, it's too broad of a term. Black is too broad. Even though we have, as a part of ADOS, we do have a black agenda, right? Which is against the discrimination from all black people from all backgrounds, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as the reparations piece is specifically for those who descend from, exactly, American slavery.
Yeah, of course. I 100% agree with that. I've always supported that. Question? Because I'm giving you 1 second, Kat. I got you. Because I've always found that really strange how they're dragging their feet on that. Because they did it with Hispanic. There's white Hispanic, there's white non-Hispanic. They can do that with ADOS. So it's like, why y'all dragging y'all feet? This could be so simple. And I think the reason why they're dragging their feet is because, like how you pointed out, once that disaggregated data happens, now there's no way to doubt that black Americans were deliberately kept. I mean, there's no doubt with it right now anyway. But the government would then have to admit it, and if they could drag their feet on it, then they won't have to admit it. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's part of why that's happening. But give me 1 second, Yosef. I think Caddy had a question for you. Caddy, what was your question?
So on the topic of ancestry, a lot of the ancestral corporations that do the DNA research into ancestry come up against snags and problems with that particular time and era, because of certain things lost in certain papers not being able to be found to prove a stable lineage. So in fact, a lot of people who get involved in trying to do their ancestry sometimes only trust, corporations that are pro Black ancestry corporations that help people find their ancestry or are dedicated to that. So in the government space, what should be the go-to organization that people would have to go to be able to get their lineage? And I think that belongs in the discussion as well.
Yeah, true. Looks like he dropped. Let me find him and follow him. So maybe he'll come back. I found him. I followed him. So maybe he'll come back if maybe his phone went off. But I found him. I followed him. Maybe he'll come back. But what's up, Kay? I was actually gonna get off in a bit. I brought you up because I know the reparations discussion was going on.
Oh, hey. I literally just it's funny because I literally just woke up. Mm-hmm. in the middle of my sleep, and I just came up for that. But also, there's another piece that I feel like why they're trying to drag their feet.
Mm-hmm.
There is another piece, and okay, now I'm not even I'm like this is. I'm gonna need people to get their emotions out of what I'm about to say because it's not shade, okay? But there is another piece to it, right? As the previous gentleman said, right? Okay, first we have to understand what Black has meant
Give me
in
one
America.
second.
Okay, Will.
Hey, Will, hold on for me for a second. I'll be right back with you. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so first we have to establish what Black has meant.
Mm-hmm.
We have to first establish what Black has meant in America historically. So in America, Black was not just our racial designation, but it was also doubled as an ethnicity. All right, so Black, so like, oh wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, okay. So Black, it doubled as our ethnicity. So Black, so that's why we have terms like Black culture, for example. BET was Black entertainment television, etc. Because Black, also was an ethnic term. And and rooted in culture, Black power, all of these different things. We also have to take into context before 1865, when the Civil Rights Act happened, and we included immigration into our our civil rights thing. Majority of the Black people that were here would have been whatever the term we use, ADOS, Black American, et cetera, right? Those were the only Black people who were in the U.S. for the most part, and have been for the longest time. So the need, to make distinctions between race and ethnicity regarding Black people on federally is actually fairly a new concept. Because for the longest time, that was not a need. There was no need to actually make that distinction because one, Black was both racial and ethnic. Number two, the only Black people that were here were descendants of chattel slavery. So that, and freedmen, those were the only people that were racially Black in the U.S. for centuries. Literally for centuries, those were the only Black people in the U.S. Now, here's another part to the conversation, right? There have been conversations regarding, for example, quotas, right? And Black people, racially Black people, and I think this was a conversation during DEI, when DEI was still up, DEI up. Again, I'm not trying. Again, what I'm about to say, people are going to have. I'm gonna need you. Listen. Do not take when do y'all in the comments? No, do not take this because I'm trying to expand the conversation. I'm not saying that this is something but there is another part of the conversation because racially, because now there are more racially Black people in the U.S. that are not descendants of chattel slavery, are freedmen, because that's another distinction as well, because there were about 10% of Black people who were free before the Civil War in 1865 for various reasons. So now that has expanded, right? And there are more Black people, and there are Black people who come from different ethnic backgrounds. There is a conversation to be had around, and actually, Volsi, I think you have brought this up before. Regarding there's some data on it. I haven't been able to find it on myself, but for example, regarding certain jobs and certain positions within with certain educational education, and this was this was supposedly an issue during the affirmative action days. Again, more Black people, they would purposely go out of their way to put Black people who are not descendants of chattel slavery in certain positions and not put Black Americans in there. And I feel like we do not bring that part of the conversation as well, because again, there's a lot of things to talk about regarding this conversation, but that's a lot. There's a lot of different layers. But again, for the longest time, Black people in America, racial and ethnic, and Black people, and there was no need to make that distinction until recently, because the only Black people in America were ADOS, are freedmen. Those were the only people who are racially Black. So the need to make that distinction is very new.
Yeah. All right, y'all, give me 1 second. I do have a caller on the other line. Let me just talk to them real quickly. All right, 804. How's it going? Well, can I get your name again?
Hey, my name's Will.
Hey, Will. All right, Will, are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1, number 2, or number 3?
I'd like to talk about number 2, my man.
All right, number 2. Now I do have people over on the TikTok. They may not be able to hear you, but
no, I hear them.
I mean, I have people on TikTok. You're not gonna be able to hear them, but they'll be able to hear you. All right. All right. So,
all right, that's all good, my man.
Not a problem.
No, I hear him.
Yeah. That's what I told him. I told him that he's not gonna be able to hear y'all, but y'all be able to hear him. Give me a second. All right. Cool.
Sounds good.
All right.
We on that timing again.
Yeah, because of the I wasn't getting anybody else with everything else. I just did the phone calls. All right, cool. All right, so let me ask you. All right, so Will, you don't talk about number 2. Do you disagree that Black Americans should get reparations?
Yes, sir. I disagree.
Why is that?
But I want to understand your methodology. Why you believe Black Americans are entitled to such things?
Because the government.
Really, anybody.
Because the government damaged their community economically, socially, and politically. So it should be repaired by the government.
Could you expand on how they went about that?
Through slavery, through redlining, through black codes, through the war on drugs, through Jim Crow, through HOAs, housing policies, etc.
All right, cool. All right. Why ought you get reparations? Because the government did something? Why not? All right, let me think. Per capita, Black people have received more welfare.
Wrong. White supremacy talking point.
Well, so what? Like,
even if that were true, that still would not make it
hold on,
where Black people shouldn't receive reparations.
Right. So here's the problem. Here's the problem, Will. The reason why Black people have higher proportionality to welfare is because of poverty, and Black people were already made deliberately poor by the government. So even if what you're saying is true, it will still want to get the fact that reparations will be the ones that could resolve the situation.
But also bring it home that it's not true.
So reparations purely, even if we go to like places that we throw money into, like Africa, it really hasn't helped them. I wish we could do something better for them. But just throw money at something doesn't necessarily fix it.
Isn't necessary.
I'd like to come up with a better reason than just throwing money at something. I genuinely like to, I'd rather everybody prosper, but I think this is not mostly the best way to do it. Is just throw money at it.
Here's the thing: everybody assumes that, right? But we've seen this happen over and over again when people are given the resource like directly, they know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like this has been studied before when they gave
also why is he concerned about what Black people do with it? Stop pocket checking.
When there was a pilot program done to give homeless people $1,000, no questions asked, for like 3 months. It found out the majority of them were able to get off the streets, even get jobs, and even try to conquer their addiction. You know what I'm saying? And they gave them like $1,000 a month, no questions asked. You know what I'm saying? So people typically know what to do with if they have the resource. Why not just give the resource?
So if I may ask a question, what's the long term on that study? What percentage of them went to go on to be successful?
Well, the program ended, so we're not even sure. But
So
we do know that they were able to get jobs to get off the street.
Well, that may be just short term, but we have to check back in to make sure they're still doing what they got to do.
Yeah, sure. We can do some follow up studies, but what it showed is that this type of program is successful, right?
Does he ask
At least short term, but that doesn't prove that it is
community
successful long term.
what
That's
they
the
should be
ultimate
doing
thing
with
that
their
matters is what
reparations?
happens long term.
All right, but what Will, the issue that I'm having here is that you're pocket watching these people, even though there's research to show that number one, they'll know what to do with their money, but number two, we're not asking.
Pocket watching.
But
I
that's
just want to
exactly
make sure it's successful and they're the best way forward. We need to make sure they're doing okay. I don't care how they spend the money. I'm just make sure they're successful and don't relapse, because I know drug addiction.
But I also
I've been to
thought
rehab
that-
before. It's very prevalent to relapse, and that's terrible.
Yeah, people can relapse. So that means that we should put more resources in place to make sure that people don't relapse.
Also, they should give things like financial
But we got to make sure it's not
We've
just
always
spending.
said that.
All right, I will pocket watch for that. Just spending willy nilly and all that. Yeah,
Say that again.
we got to make sure the money goes to good use.
So you would like to if you would saying that if reparations happen, you would earmark the money. I don't think we should, because that just puts us in the same situation that we
I
were
would
the
ask
first
him,
time.
what other community have they done that to? Why are they only doing this to Black Americans? Ask him if whether it be the Japanese
So you bring up a study that only goes for a short period. It doesn't
What
show
other
long-term
community
results
does
that
he
we
worry
don't
about
know.
their
So how
poverty?
can we
Hold on,
know
I can't
what the
hear
long-term
him.
results are?
I can't hear him. Say that again,
sorry.
Will.
Sorry, man. I'm only critical of this study because yes, it's what 2-3 months, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. So
But we
you
don't know the
want
long-term
to know the
effects.
long term? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to tell you the long term effects, but the things that I'm telling you is that when we what we see from this pilot program is that people were able to get off the street, people were able to clean themselves up and get jobs, et cetera, and it gave them money, no questions asked. So we know something like this can work. So the and the thing is, like, yeah, sure, we have to look at the long-term effects. I agree with you. We should have more things in place to make sure people don't relapse, to make sure that we have make sure they stay in their homes, which is why I support things like guaranteed housing, things like universal health care, so we can make sure these things don't happen, right?
He's full of shit.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to help out my fellow man, but how do we go about doing this? That's the biggest thing. How do we go about doing it?
Like reparations?
How do we get this money for reparations?
We already have it. We
All right,
just need to know how to allocate it, because the American government allocates $1 trillion to our military every year. Yeah, I mean we can cut that in half to start paying our
money that they send to Israel?
And the money that gets sent to Israel, there's a lot of money out there, right? I think how much money do we send to Israel already? About $3
stop
billion.
sending as much money as we do to Israel. We should stop doing that.
Yeah, like $30 billion.
I'd rather instead of spend that, I'd spend it here. But I would spend it more on local community things.
Correct. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
So I wouldn't do it necessarily directly to the individual, but I'd like to do it to more community-oriented things so we can all gather and work together personally.
But can you ask him that question? What other community? What other community does he worry about these things to regarding the people who have just received reparations? Does he worry about the Jewish community and their ability to allocate their reparations? Also, historically the Japanese who were put into the internment camps during World War II. We can even go to this part of the conversation. Right? What other community have they? And if that was a true concern, and I don't believe it is, then why is it right? That financial, adding financial literacy to the conversation around reparations is not a part. Why would he not accept that? Giving free financial literacy courses as a part of reparations
Yeah, would you give free so Will, the question that came from TikTok is, would you give free financial literacy pre-financial literacy courses as a part of reparations?
For Black families
Oh yeah, sure.
and Black individuals.
The reason why I want it to be more community focused is I want to build like relationships between people, and I feel like that
Black
would help
Americans
people
are
more
already very community focused.
if we can kind of get together more.
We're
instead of
very
just
communal people.
not necessarily faceless money. In some certain senses, yeah, that could help. But I like to build a closer.
Is he talking about building community with non-Black people?
And that's
because Black Americans are around ourselves are very communal.
At all.
All right, hold on. You both were talking at the same time. Are you talking about building like, because Black people are already communal already? Like we're already a very communal people within our own community. So, are you talking about building like an expanded community, like outside of the Black community with everybody else? Because I mean, it sounds great. Yeah, sure. I don't think anybody is on principle against it. It's just, you know, the history of this country. It's kind of one of those things that it needs to happen slowly, very slowly, because the trust isn't necessarily there. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but we can build those structures.
Yeah, we can build it. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. So
it would have to,
my only thing is I don't want it to be like nameless, faceless money or whatever. Is it? People can kind of take it for granted, but if we work together, we kind of more like and try to strive forward.
Again, what other community does he worry about that with? Does he worry about that with the Jewish community, who, by the way, are very much on the,
because there's been many cases where
themselves.
There have been obviously at least big stores that have left those areas due to theft, and that's terrible. I don't want that to, because the theft and all that does affect the community in whole, which is not really a good thing, ideally.
Wait, I don't understand what you mean. Say that again.
There's many stores that, as many people will say, food deserts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And
does he know that
due to theft, that they could physically have to close down those shops, and then that affects the whole community due to its
but ask him why there are food deserts in the Black community.
Right. Why do you think there are food deserts in the Black community, Will?
Could it be white supremacy?
Theft leads to food deserts, therefore less jobs, therefore it causes poverty.
It's not theft, man. It's not just theft.
It's white supremacy.
It was
like redlining.
What I'm saying is that the reason the food deserts exist, food deserts exist because of racism. These areas were redlined out, and because they were redlined out, there was no investment into these communities. Of course, there was no grocery stores in those communities, and that's what created a food desert. Now, when they put
grocery stores in there, and then
when those grocery stores came in, the community had already declined, and crime was already high. So they put a grocery store in an area that already had high crime due to it deliberately being made that way.
So Black people committing crime is the white people's fault.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Black community historically. Like a lot of communities who have been undermined by the government have also had issues with crime as well. I think the Italians and the Irish historically also had this issue. So it's not just even Black people.
Yeah. So the thing is, what came from my TikTok, Will, is that they pointed out that the issue of crime is more of an issue of poverty, because Irish and Italian, when they first came into this country and they were disproportionately poor, what did they engaged in? They engaged in the mafia. They also committed a whole bunch of crimes. So this is an issue of poverty, proximity, and even youth, not just race. When you ask, Black people committed crime, is it white people's fault? The reason why I said yes is because white supremacy is the ones that put Black people in those conditions in the first place. If the government and white supremacist ideology and white supremacist policies did not do redlining, did not do Jim Crow, did not do all of these issues, you would not see Black people in these conditions, would you?
So even hire people, Black individuals that make more money commit more crimes per capita at a higher rate than white people.
No, they don't.
But
No, they don't.
They do.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Black people who you're saying that black people who are higher income commit more crimes than white people who are lower income. Sure about that?
At the same level of income.
Hold on. So black people who are higher income and white people who are higher income don't commit crimes at the same level. Black people commit higher crimes than white people that are higher income.
Yep, per capita.
That's a lie.
Another thing per capita. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this here. So blacks of higher income commit more crimes per capita than whites of higher
income. Can you
income.
look that up real quick?
At the same income, yes, per capita.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
Because I know he's full of shit. And that's such a white supremacist per capita. I'm like, listen, if I hear a white person say per capita again after this, ooh, Volsi, he lucky he can't hear me. The way I'll be cussing his ass out right now. I'm so tired of hearing that word per capita. I don't know why. Whoever gave them that word, I'm like, I need reparations just for who gave them that word. Honestly. Exactly, black. Exactly, black. He's just racist.
All right.
I knew it the moment he came up in here.
Give me 1 second. Let me take a look at here. So let's see. Studies show, research indicates that black individuals and communities often experience higher rates of violent crime and incarceration than white individuals at similar income levels. This is largely driven by systemic disparities rather than race alone. Neighborhood conditions,
so what they're
wealth
saying is
disparities.
exactly what we just said.
Yeah, exactly what we just said. Structural disadvantages. So it's not just black people with higher income just committing more crimes.
Because black people with higher income are still oppressed based off their race. They still are.
He said at the same levels, at the same wealth levels, they commit higher violent crimes, which is a terrible thing. I don't like that happens. But I would attribute it to fatherless, home, don't help.
You're saying that higher income blacks have fatherless homes?
I would assume, yeah.
Why would you assume that?
But here's the thing,
it's
right?
High among the black population.
Ask him this though.
But that doesn't mean that higher income individuals have that. That makes no sense.
Also, ask him this: why? I hope he's not bringing black women into this. I hope he's not blaming black American women for that as well, because that would be some BS. Let's say it were even true. What does that have to do with black American women and children in particular? Because men choosing not to be active parents and fathers
show that
is not the
approximately
fault of women and children.
Hold on, Will. Jesus Christ. Wait.
Girl.
Hey, but chill down, man.
Yeah, I need you to. I'm sir. Someone. I told you that there are people on my TikTok that are also talking. You got to be quiet while I listen to them.
All right.
So, here's the thing. The reason why I think that it's ridiculous is just because there's a high percentage of black people black children that are born to single parent homes amongst the general population does not mean that higher income black people also have single parent homes. You can't make that assumption. That's a leap. You can't make that assumption.
But also
because it's not the same. The correlation is not causation, my guy. Just because that there's a lot of single parent homes doesn't mean that people with higher income are also going to have single parent homes. That's not a connection. That makes no sense. That doesn't follow. That's a non sequitur. Because white people also have a higher rate of single parent homes. Are you going to say that white folks who are higher income have more single parent homes because it's happening more with white people now? That makes no sense.
All right, I'll grant you that one. I can see.
All right. So let's talk about what we're talking about before you said because you said that black people of higher
Typical
income,
white boy.
you said that
black.
you said that black people of higher income commit more crimes per capita than white people of the same income
Is there
level.
any data to substantiate that? By the way,
When I looked that up, that's not what I found. We found that the communities have higher rates of violent crime and incarceration, but they said that the reason for this is because of wealth disparities and structural disadvantages, meaning that policing is higher in these areas than they are in white areas, and they're higher in these areas not due to there's more crime there. They're higher in these areas just for them being black people.
I'm not saying it's just because you're black. It's within those communities we observe higher violent crime.
No,
but it's because of systemic racism, idiot.
It's because of systemic disparities, not because of their race.
Systemic disparities.
It's not their race.
Making
It's
people
literally systemic advantages.
killing each other.
Yeah, just systemic disadvantages. Whenever you get rid of a lot of these systemic because even black people of higher income, you realize still face systemic disadvantages.
Because racism doesn't stop existing because of because you benefit from capitalism.
Yeah. So someone
you realize that. I mean, actually, bring up that pregnant black women with higher income still have a higher mortality rate due to racism and systemic misogynoir in hospitals. Compared to lower income white women.
Right. So when it comes to for example, let me give you an example of this that was said on my TikTok prior.
I got you.
Yeah. So black women who have higher income, right? Who give childbirth and everything like that, they're still have a higher infant mortality rate than white women of the same income. That's lower
because of systemic racism.
Because of systemic racism in the medical system. Yes.
Can you prove that? Can you prove it?
That's what the studies show. What was that?
That's literally what studies show.
Prove it.
What do you mean prove it? Prove what?
Prove it that it's because of systemic racism.
That's what the studies show.
It's literally because of racism.
Because of racism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black women who are of higher income, they face higher infant mortality rates than white women of the same income and even lower income. How would you explain that if it wasn't a race issue?
Biology.
You think black women are biologically more likely to die in childbirth? Really?
But yeah, they're biologically different.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and
that is so dangerous, Sophie.
Yeah, that's
fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not.
That is dangerous.
God, this is stupid. God, that was stupid. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Women biologically are not differently than fucking white women and non-black women. Black women do not have different biological parts than fucking white women.
I said biology. Do y'all think black women have different vaginas or something? This is so fucking stupid.
I'm so
idiots, bro, morons. Anyway,
I knew it the moment he came on that call.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it. I could tell the moment he came on that call. I could hear it.
Yeah.
I could hear the caucasity.
Yeah, the caucasity. Well, I'll tell you. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
I heard it the second, the moment he came up on that call.
Could I say something before you go?
Is that Black? Yeah, go ahead, Black.
Go ahead, Black.
Good night to everybody on the panel. I was just listening to the quality, right? And it's very deplorable to see that where these white people per se they speak in America, and very disheartening.
Hey sis.
Right. One thing I want to One thing I want to touch on, right? One thing I want to touch on is that I do believe Black Americans should get reparation, right, for what happened to them in the past. But I believe it should be paid in such a way that it can help out the society, meaning that build better roads, infrastructure.
Well, that's
right?
actually a part of the conversation, Black, is and communities have been historically redlined. To try to build up those areas. Also Volsey and I have talked about things like putting trades within those schools so that the Black American children and within those schools in communities that have historically redlined could lead with like a trade and stuff. So that actually is a part of the conversation.
Yep, well, I totally understood because I'm not personally a Black American, a Black Caribbean, right? If I realize my accent, outside in Trinidad and Tobago. So,
are you from Trinidad?
All I just getting, all I just getting is,
I can hear it. I'm like, oh, I hear the flavor.
Yeah, I can hear the flavor too.
Yeah. So what I'm trying is to get what's going on in America because I have a lot of family, Black Caribbean descent Americans in America, and they kind of have the same struggles that I don't really believe in foundational Black Americans. I believe that all always one Black people, as we say, across it, right?
But we do have different ethnic distinctions, and that is important.
Right. That is important, right? And far as I view it, right, they need to structure it in such a way that they need more better access to certain things that they can help out the society better in America, right?
Black. You said that you have family members who are of Caribbean descent, so Caribbean Americans who are in America. Are you still in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, I basically yes, I'm in Trinidad right
now. No, I know.
I speak to them
I'm asking if you're still over there. Because there may be things that you may not, and the reason I'm asking is because you may not understand certain contexts within the United States if you do not live here, and it's also, and also the thing is because Black Americans have a very different relationship to America, and a lot of people, even who are first and second gens, do not understand certain dynamics because historically their families have not gone through the same things because their lineage is not from here. So there's that's why ethnicity is also important in that, and lineage is important because Black people, depending on where they come from, have completely different historical contexts.
Yep. I totally understand. I totally agree. And I feel a little pain because I just see a lot of things what's going on with Black Americans, and I just be so amazed, right? Even on the good and the bad side, meaning that the good side is very a lot because how to put it, we do look up to all, right? As Black Caribbean, we do look up to Black Americans, sports stars, who name it, go right back down to who doctor, who doing good, who,
For sure.
And when
I've come to understand and hear, like our sports stars, our music stars, etc. That's what I've come to understand.
And it goes both ways. It goes both ways, right? And I do feel a little hurt, and I hear all the cry, right? And to me, right, personally, we need to stop the how to say it, right? We all can understand. We need to stop the tug and pulling. It's not healthy for the Black society to move forward, right? That's how I view it, right? And it's very crucial and very critical that we help out our black brothers and sisters across the world, right? And
yeah, I agree.
you know, it's something. It's time.
Yeah, it is.
Really
it's time for us to come together. But Black, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I gotta go ahead and get out of here. I gotta pack.
I know.
I gotta pack because I'm traveling tomorrow and
next
everything.
Time.
Yeah, definitely next time.
Where you going?
I gotta go down to Miami. You know, my sister baby shower is tomorrow, so I gotta go to that.
Just you're gonna be an uncle.
All right,
be an uncle twice.
All I say is some passe.
Not bully. Yo, listen. When Haiti,
I'm like, how is it? Now, question: how is it that being from two different parts of the island and y'all understand?
Yeah, we understand each other. Yeah, because
we understand each other.
Trinidad has a Creole that's very similar to Haitian Creole. Because you know the French was over there too, but it's one of those things. I think
funny because me and my sister, when she did her ancestry test, we found out that we have Louisiana Creole roots from Louisiana on our maternal side.
Let me tell you, when I went to New Orleans one time, our people speaking Louisiana Creole, and I'm like, I could understand that. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, we all connected for real, man. We all connected. We just gotta make sure that we fight for each other.
So I have Louisiana Creole ancestry, as well as like Maryland and Virginia African American ancestry on my maternal side. I'm like, of course, my family. You've heard me talk about my family from Tennessee. And I'm like, oh, actually, I've been doing my genealogy. I've recently been able to track my family lineage into the 1850s. I've been able to get that far.
Dope.
Based on
one more thing before you go, right? One more thing before you go, right? As we watching you right through, right? And I totally agree with you and Black Atheists and all these other people who just bring positive information to the Black people of African, well, across the world, right? Who's listening, and keep up the good work what you're doing, brother. I'll keep you listening offline. When I come in, I can interject and add a little 2 cents in between, right?
Definitely.
So goodbye and enjoy your night, right?
I appreciate you. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Always remember to be soft.